Пошли. Все вместе. Какие ваши доказательства?
They want you to comply.
Cancel culture is about canceling.
Кокаином.
Up yours. Woke moralists. Up yours.
This is systematic bullying that's happening.
Woke moralists. Up yours.
And they believe that they can then
Woke
shut us
moralists.
up.
F around and find out.
Up yours. Woke moralists.
They seem animalistic is what I mean.
No, they're worse than animals.
The woke mob, they ruin everything.
They stop Ben Shapiro from going to events and speaking. They stop Ann Coulter from doing it.
I will never surrender even a single inch of ground to a pitchfork mob.
You never cave to the mob.
We will never bow to the mob. Ever. No matter what.
Do you see the final expression of cancel culture in terrorist groups like
Up yours.
We'll see who cancels who.
Hey.
Hi, Lance.
I know you see that we're missing someone today,
muted,
and
bud.
we have some really unfortunate news. Matt is no longer part of the podcast. We had a meeting, and we've decided that it's time to part ways.
It's time to go. He loves super chats too much. He's been getting too many of the super chats, so we got to spread that love
stealing all
around.
of our money.
Yeah.
He's taking it all. I actually don't know why he's
Sam
not here.
Bankman-Fried of the leftist mafia.
yeah. So
Maybe that's I feel like
Matt
he's
is
really
not
engaged in that right now, and he's missing the start of the show. Which I wish he was here to talk about that, because he was just found guilty.
Oh,
Yeah,
I did not see
good
this.
news, everyone.
Oh, wow.
Sam
What was
Bankman-Fried.
I missed it.
Sam Bankman-Fried, he was
here's
basically
Bankman.
the president and CEO of FTX, which was a massive crypto. Oh, Matt's here. He'll explain it better than I can. Yeah.
Oh, hey, Matt.
It looks like he just got done reading
Matt,
a whole bunch
he
about
rolled
this.
out of bed. Like he rolled out of
About Sam
bed.
Bankman-Fried.
Yeah.
You're muted right now.
You're on mute,
he doesn't
Matt.
know.
You're on mute on the show.
His
I don't
mic.
think it's the mic. I think that it's
No,
showing you on
just,
mute
You
in the
selected
software.
mute on Streamlabs. It's on Streamlabs, man.
Streamlabs is showing mute.
Hit the mute. Hit the mic button. Since in your Streamlabs,
Right, because it got disconnected.
Okay.
Okay.
Hi, Matt.
Hello,
how are
everybody.
you?
I'm running late, not because I'm literally just got in because my kid has basketball practice now on Thursday. night.
Okay.
What?
Oh,
Father? What the fuck?
How dare you? How
So
dare
this
you
is-
put your shit above the podcast?
You have to
supposed
tell
to
them to
sacrifice for all
change
of
that.
us. He
Don't
was
they
being
understand
active
that this podcast
outside.
is so important? They have to change when you're practicing.
Yeah, we did the thing, Matt, where we announced that you were kicked off the show. We already did
It wasn't
the
as
meme.
what are you
effective
doing
as
here?
Matt does it though.
So
Right.
did you miss the news about Sam Bankman-Fried? Did I call him? Is that his name?
7 counts. He faces like 100-something years in jail.
That's right.
I mean,
Wow.
he clearly was screwed going into it. I mean, the dude perpetuated probably one of the biggest financial frauds in U.S. history. The idea that there were people who, there were people who literally thought he wasn't even going to be arrested. Like there were people who literally thought he had like political connections that were going to get him, that were going to allow him to just get away with it completely. One such individual who said that was Elon Musk. I mean, people who said that. I mean, it was always clear that this dude was fucked.
Your
was
audio is
fucked.
cutting out.
The input is
You're
coming from your laptop. I don't think it's coming from
Yeah,
you.
Yeah, it is the wrong one.
From your mic.
It's all right, Matt. You ran right up in here, taking care of your
We'll give you time.
Rolled
We'll
out
give you
of
time
bed.
to collect yourself.
How's this now?
There
Yes,
we
yes.
go.
There he is.
Now
Better?
ready for our
Okay.
Bender
Much better,
monologue.
much better.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, this dude. Well, did you hear anything I said or no?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was just
we did.
muffled,
It was just
but
the
yeah.
end where you were fading out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm just saying this dude was clearly screwed from the beginning. He was fucked. The question was just exactly how fucked was he gonna be? Now we know he's very fucked. He's gone to jail for a long time. We'll find out exactly how long soon.
I'm sure there'll be a very long appeals process, and it'll take a while, but this dude's going away.
That's some good news.
If anyone doesn't know, by the way, Sam Bankman-Fried was advertised as being someone who was going to like save humanity. Like there was all these YouTubers who made videos on him where like Sam Bankman-Fried is trying to make as much money to save the world. He's going to give all his money away to worthy causes, so he needs to make billions of dollars. That was his persona. Like that's what he was advertised as. And meanwhile, he was scamming people for billions of dollars. You know, transferring money into his own shitcoin, like alternative proprietary cryptocurrency and shit. I'm sure Matt can describe it a lot better for the details, but like it is honestly just like one of those things where I'm actually kind of shocked that he's facing consequences for his actions. Maybe this is the start of the golden age of cryptocurrency scammers finally fucking facing some repercussions.
Well, the thing is, this guy didn't perpetuate some like complex financial fraud where no, you have to understand, we gave these loans out and then we bundled them up and we sold them somewhere else and no one could find the paperwork, so now we got to take that family's home. Mm-hmm. That is a financial fraud you could get away with apparently in this country because it's complex. There's a lot of different machinations. We screwed up. It wasn't purposeful. He was literally just siphoning money from one of his companies, which was his customers' funds, to another one of his companies, which was the company that was making risky bets using those customer funds. There was a direct line to me stealing your money. So he was always screwed. He wasn't some genius mastermind who put together some crazy plot. Those are still the people who got away with like the 2008 financial crisis. SBF's financial fraud was crystal clear the second the whole FTX rug was pulled out from underneath him last year.
How do you think he would get away with it if it was that obvious?
I feel like there was no safety nets around crypto. That's how I felt.
That's kind of it. That no one's facing consequences for their actions.
No one. And everybody wanted to get into it because it's fast money. I remember dating a guy that I ain't dating no more because he ain't good with money. But I remember dating a guy and he came up real quick, like made a lot of money. You know, he invested a lot. This was during the onset of the pandemic. A lot of people were getting into crypto, like people were getting into that tea that nobody drinks anymore, but just like that. And he made so much money. He partnered with this, different people in crypto that were like, you give me this and I'll triple the money and I'll get you all that, and it was working. So he was like, no, my people are real. One day we went to eat and he was sweating and it was just like, he kept shaking.
Was it on a Saturday? Was it the SNL episode of Elon Musk? Was it that day when Dogecoin plummeted?
He was just shaking and I'm like, are you okay? And then he was talking like real loud, like you couldn't hear himself. He was having like a really bad panic attack. And he told me that all of the money, and he made like a lot of money, all of the money disappeared, gone. Can't contact the people, nothing. And there was nothing in place for him to call the cops. There was no bank, no financial institution to contact, nothing. They just took the money and ran.
What a nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
Never have all your money in one place. If you have that much money, that seems like an obvious thing.
I think it's like an addiction though. Once you see it start growing and you're like, okay, let me pull it out. But they're like, look what you made here. Look what you can make. You can make this. Look, I promised you can make this. And I know I can make more. I can get you more. And people were studying. Crypto was such or whatever. But people were studying, were reading books. My brother, he came from Haiti and somebody put him on the crypto. He was doing good. But he ain't put all his money there. He was smart enough to pull some out, invest in some things. But one day he woke up, panic attacks as well. Okay, money wasn't there. Money wasn't there.
God, it's so volatile. Just what a nightmare.
Yeah, it's criminal. When
you look into a lot of, pretty much every single cryptocurrency token, when you look into it, it's from like they're all just scamming. Like it's every single one. Like I'm sure crypto people are gonna yell at me, but I have a whole podcast, which I haven't done an episode in a little while. I guess I got to do the SBF going to jail episode because I've been so busy with other things going on in the world. The guy, that's the thing. Like I wish I could have followed this. I really could not follow this trial. It just seems so unimportant compared to the other things going on in the world right now. Like I knew from the very, like I almost like there were interesting stuff that came out. I'm not downplaying what's going to be a great scam economy episode, but there was nothing like absolutely new. Like the new information we got was like, oh my God, like they said that, or that was how that person was so open in that text to SBF about what they were doing or whatever. But it was nothing new in terms of like information. It was crystal clear a year ago when this all went down what was going on here and that this dude was screwed. And then to top it off, he kept talking months to anyone who would talk with him publicly after FTX collapsed, just literally giving away the crimes he committed openly.
He did it in interviews. He did it in news interviews.
Like this dude was so screwed. And like, you know, it's just so interesting to me.
And he's a super young man, right?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
He's in like in his early
20s. Early 30s.
I want to correct
that's young.
Matt, though, by the way. There is one coin that is very valuable, and it's been approved by Scam Economy. It's surfcoin.com. If you go to surfcoin.com, get in on the ground floor. You can invest now. It's a very valuable coin. You'll make lots of money. I highly recommend it. Surfcoin.com.
Sounds very similar to a show I know.
I know a show that has the same like name.
Don't believe them. All right, if you want to make
SURF,
XQC.
That's the difference.
Okay. I would. Everybody wanted to. I've been. A lot of people came to me, and I've heard about the story about this man. But a lot of people were coming to me like, "Hey, you know, if you get into crypto, look what you can do." I know so many people who went into crypto, and it's one of those. It is a scam thing. You get in, you make money, and now you become the expert. Now you got a whole manual that you selling for $100, where you taking folks' money. There's a woman who was doing right, living a good life, right? Just really a good citizen. She is now in jail because she got involved and into crypto. It was good to her. And there's a level of greed that some people get. And now they start stealing people's money, start stealing folks' money, put people on and then start stealing their money. So.
Well, I mean, the whole purpose of getting people into crypto is so that new money comes in so you can take it from them. I mean, that's the whole thing. Like,
it almost sounds like a pyrid scheme of sorts.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing.
It's called last man standing. It's different.
There's no product.
It's an upside down triangle is what it is.
And everyone's investing specifically to turn around and make money. Where's that money come from? It comes from the most recent sucker who put money in.
Who doesn't want to make fast money right now? Like, especially during the pandemic, when people are getting laid off. Who doesn't? Like, I mean, if you're at a time when you're so desperate, though, like they prey on those type of people, especially too, who are really needy and will do anything to make sure they save their home or whatever, and they'll take from them. And I think that is it's predatory. And so I think a lot of people who got away with this stuff, there's a lot of startups that got away with it. People that only been crypto companies for like 30 days got just stealing people's money.
A lot of meme coins.
Celebrity, by the way, Jimmy Fallon, Snoop Dogg, Eminem,
right.
Every single one. And none of them have apologized since NFTs became worthless. Like that happened. Right. They're worthless now. But like you push that on all of your fans.
When all these pump and dump like shit coins like Logan Paul, he said he was going to return the money. Hasn't returned the money yet. CoffeeZilla is a great YouTuber to follow on this. He's been holding his feet to the fire. It's like they're exploiting people's desperation and they're using their platform and legitimacy with these people to do it. And a lot of these folks, like if you're a Logan Paul fan, I would imagine you're really young. Maybe you just graduated high school. You don't know what to do in life. You know, we're not given a guidebook on how to adult. So if this person who you trust says, "Hey, invest in this coin," it's not a pump and dump. Wink, wink. And you do it, and then the rug gets pulled out from under you. You're just kind of fucked. It's so sad, and these people need to be held accountable.
And they should be. There's so many it's criminal. When that happened to my ex, I was just like, "Can you do anything about it? Like, is there anything?" Nothing. It's so criminal. And I've also seen people, what they've done with the money. Like, people will get the money and just do evil things too. Like, I mean, I've seen people blow money on all kinds of things, drugs, just all kinds. Strip clubs ain't bad, but blow money on that, like just a whole bunch of things. And fast money is just, it can be really detrimental. Like, it's just
as long as they got to use the money, though.
Right.
A lot of people, they have that money.
As long as the strippers getting paid, you know, that's not right.
Support sex workers.
Yes.
I remember there's a Joe Rogan podcast like, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years ago, where there was some crypto guy, and I forget who it was, but he was like talking about, in 3 to 5 years, this is going to be like other currencies are going to go away completely. Crypto is going to run the show. Like, it just.
John McAfee said he was going to eat his own dick if Bitcoin didn't reach $100,000 by a certain period, and then that period passed, and he never did it. But yeah,
it was Doggy Coin, whatever. Bitcoin, Doggy Coin, everybody's coin.
Dogecoin, yeah.
Those celebrities that had their own, everybody had their coin, but where are they now? Like, nobody. It just literally disappeared. Like that tea they were selling during the pandemic. They were really out here just pushing these scams on people, these pyramid schemes on people, and then it just went away. So many people are hurt because of this right now. Like, they're hurt, but nobody's saying anything about it.
What is this? What is this tea you keep mentioning? I'm trying to remember what tea.
ISOT. Dang, I need to remember.
I thought you were talking about kombucha, because that was a big thing. People.
No, I love your kombucha. I know I drink it every day on the show. Every Thursday on the show.
Yeah,
I ain't got it.
I feel it gives you a +1. It's awesome.
But no, it's this tea. It was along with the crypto. Along with that, it was the ISO tea. I hope I'm saying it right. ISO tea.
I know I don't remember this.
And because it was on all the urban platforms. Everybody was trying to get their waist cinched during the pandemic. They were like, if you sitting at home eating, this tea is good for you. So many people who lost their job or were furloughed, these people were selling these teas. A lot of celebrities were pushing the tea. And they were having.
It was a pyramid scheme, wasn't it?
Yes, it had to be, because
it's made out of papaya fruit extract.
It was crazy. And then they were holding courses. I remember because a friend of mine, I was at her house and she's like, "Girl, hold on, I'm furloughed. I got to get some money." I said, "Oh, how are you getting money?" And then I just see a whole bunch of Black women in this Zoom, and they were literally getting scammed. I had to tell my friend, "Hey, baby, that's a scam. That's a scam. Who are you going to sell this tea to? Everybody is sick. The world is. Where are you? Where are you going? What are we doing?" And she put money into that and lost hundreds of dollars during a time where we needed every dollar. And all of them celebrities and Instagram models and all of them have yet to say a thing about that, because they're not drinking the tea. They going to get surgeries because they got the money.
I was gonna say it's nice to know that what brings all of our communities together, it doesn't matter if you're the white community or the Black community. White women have Goop, and then there's this example.
What is Goop?
Goop is Gwyneth Paltrow's proprietary, like, it's supposed to be wellness stuff for women, but it's all just like the weirdest shit. Like, one of them is this like egg that you're supposed to put inside you. Another one is like a healing mist that apparently it like cleans your lungs out. Like, it's all
like $300 a piece.
Oh yeah, so expensive. So expensive. Yeah. And
it's being sold to other like celebrities, right? Like, so jack up those prices.
Yeah. The tea thing reminds me of these really predatory clothing companies like LuLaRoe or LuLaRoe or something, where you can sell their clothes and potentially make a ton of money, but you buy it all up front and then you sell it for like a markup. And a lot of women end up making a lot of money at first. I know someone who is part of this, and then they overbuy. They have a lot of inventory that they can't move, and then they basically invested a lot of money, thousands of dollars, into these clothes that they can't move. And it's like,
like MLMs.
Yeah, exactly. It is so sad, because everybody is desperate, and we all are trying to find ways to make money.
They prey on those type of people.
Exactly.
They prey on those type of people. There's a woman, her name is Coach Stormy. She goes by Coach Stormy. She's the one that said, if you eat too much on your plate, it was something that went viral. I mean, it went viral. She said, if you eat too much on your plate, like, it's unbecoming of you as a woman or whatever. But there's so many women around. She's predatory to a certain type of woman, and women who think that, okay, if I follow this woman's ways, it's going to make me more of a woman. I'm going to be more like I'm going to make more money. And it's just like, I don't like that. I don't like that these people are like, they go from people who are already down, don't feel good about themselves, don't have money, and they'll go and take everything from them. Everything. Yeah, it's predatory. They'll take everything from them. And that's what I think about the coins. Like we ain't hearing about no more. So
yeah,
down with Sam.
Yeah, I will say the only legitimate Bitcoin or crypto venture, NFTs in particular, was Trump's. Those were great. You know, those sold out. Those are doing well. I bought a bunch of them, have the whole collection almost, and you know, I'm doing.
I almost forgot he did that. Wow.
Yeah.
And he had a
video
or two. Yeah. He's like, everyone thought it was going to be something serious, but it was for a fucking NFT.
That's right, like a big announcement coming.
Yeah.
I remember it was so funny seeing the Fox News reactions. I know we all did videos about this where it's like, okay, and the breaking news, Trump's announcement is NFTs. Okay, well, moving on. It's just like,
yeah, even they couldn't really, you know,
there was nothing else.
Shine that shit.
There was nothing else.
Yeah.
It was low vibrational plates. Do y'all remember that? Low
I remember those. I also remember water that everyone started, ionized water, because everyone said it was going to like heal you and stuff like that. And then
it was a time, man. Yeah. It was a time. Those 2-3 years, that was a time, man. That was a time. Like, Jesus, people were just getting got. Like, you can't put two ribs on your plate because some lady online who's selling tea, who got a small waist from surgery, said it's low vibrational. Now it's a whole thing about low vibrational plates, and she was marketing low vibrational plates, and I'm like, this is terrible. Like, I hate it.
I'll just say we were all drunk, you know, during
COVID.
We were also depressed and shit faced.
We were depressed, drinking. We were.
Yeah.
It was a time. It was a time.
How did we get all this shit, but nobody decided to sell magic beans or something? Or maybe they have, but like, I mean, I want to.
That's essentially what NFTs.
I mean, that's essentially
That's true.
All these scams are basically some form of magic bean.
They were all magic. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. That's true.
Think of how all of this would be solved if we just all had like a basic income of like we were all just, you know, a basic living,
basic income.
Yes, some kind of universal. I mean, in addition to like other sorts of, you know, obviously, you know, healthcare and everything. But like, it's just people have to come up with this shit because they want to make a lot of money. They want to make money. They can't afford to live. They're like, you know what? I'm going to scam some people, and then you know that's what ends up happening. If these scammers just had a basic, you know, a basic income, maybe they could do something else with their lives. But I don't know.
That's true. I mean, not the ones that are like at the top of the scamming, like Sam, but like the people who get involved, who think that they're doing it, you know, they're actually joining something that's going to make a difference in their lives.
Yeah,
and
there'd be less desperate people to prey on, for sure.
Yeah.
Ivermectin, another one. Somebody, there was so much.
Yeah, you got to say horse-based, or we'll get kicked off of YouTube. Apparently.
Oh, that's
Still, they're still like that.
No, I don't think it's the thing anymore. Well,
it's just funnier to say horse paste.
Yeah, it is also funny.
Yeah. The horse paste peddlers are saying they were vindicated. We've talked about this before, so I won't rehash that. But it's very funny because they were not. But yeah.
No, they absolutely were not. They did the exact opposite of that.
Before we get to anything too depressing, I do want to share this because this is kind of goes into this conversation. This is from The Guardian here. UN decrees Amazon, Walmart, DoorDash for shameful wages and union busting. Human rights experts at the UN says U.S. companies trap workers in poverty, forcing them to rely on food stamps and Medicaid. It's pretty wild when the UN humanitarian rights wing, you know, come out to say, hey, the U.S. is effed up and look at these corporations. Like it's good. I think it's fantastic for the UN to highlight this because we've known about this for a while. Of course, you know, many of these politicians, activists have discussed these sorts of low wages and their impact on the rest of society. But
these big
I thought it was shoplifting.
Not
yeah,
because it's Walmart.
That's what we're told.
The picture, no, they could have used a better picture. But these huge companies that make so much money, I was talking to a friend at the company. I wish I could just name them. It's crazy. The place that I work at my 9 to 5, they allege that they can't continue to pay better. They actually are finding ways to lower wages. I was just hit. 2 days ago, they were like, we're lowering the wages by changing your time at work. They try to make it fit. Math doesn't math. I didn't complain, but other people, have it worse. And I'm just listening to a lot of people talk, and they were saying how the company that I work for didn't, or saying that they didn't make any money, so we can't get the bonuses, we can't do anything like that. Honey, I'm like, that's not true. So much research has gone on. This company has made billions of dollars from us and from other people that they're preying on, and constantly I sit there and I'm like, I can't. The fact that I work for these people is ridiculous, right? But I got to. But the fact that I work for them is crazy, because a lot of what I'm seeing is companies like these big companies like Amazon, Walmart, all these people who, and then the company I work for, if we were to dare try to create a union, honey, y'all would never see me again. Never see me again. Don't know where I went, what happened. They'll come get you, okay, feds. But these companies are so upset that these people have audacity. Employees have audacity to want better and to hold them accountable, because they will sell this story to their employees and say, hey, this is why we can't give you more, because we're hurting. And not this company is hurting. You guys made so much more than the year before. So how are you hurting this year? Because it sucks, but I'm glad that other people are seeing and are aware of what's going on. I hope that it causes change. I know with that young man, I think it's Christopher Smalls, who was with the Amazon union, and he became really, really well known off of his efforts. But I know that he's been attacked too by Amazon and blacklisted and all these other things. Like, they try to make him out to be a criminal for just holding them accountable, especially during the pandemic. So it's like they will make all these excuses, and they are powerful people that no matter how much you put out there, no matter the stats you put out there that show them to be liars and criminals and crooks, capitalistic people, they will still win because they're just so much bigger than the employees. But it sucks that the employees have to get reprimanded for having audacity to want better. I hate it.
Yeah. And I just love how they fuck you over in a million different ways. And then if you don't come into work with a smile on your face, then you're part of the problem, or you don't want to work. It's so ridiculous.
Yeah.
What jobs have y'all worked in the past? And I can start. I've been a dishwasher at restaurants. I've worked at 2 famous players, which are movie theaters. I used to do guerrilla marketing for a newspaper company, and then for a liquor company after that. Construction. Worked construction for a whole year.
Interesting.
Yeah. What'd you do there? Yeah.
I was doing demolition, and it's the worst job I've ever had in my life, where we had to knock down the drywall and like the insulation behind the drywall, and you would wear like a mask and stuff, but in the night all of the fiberglass would get into your fucking skin, and I would just sit there all itchy. It was horrible.
God.
Yeah.
I worked at when it was a dark time in my life, and I was getting my master's degree, and I worked at a waxing salon. Y'all wouldn't believe what I would see with rich women coming in there. I'm like, girl, and then they're at the waxing salon, and I had to scrub toilets at the waxing salon. Just so those are the hours that fit while I was in school. And then I worked at what was it, like a place with semi trucks? They were a trucking company. And she fired me because I came in with heels on, and because, honey, I wear heels. And I came in because when I'm going to work. I came in with heels on, and she fired me the next day because she wanted me to go clean out a semi truck where somebody had passed away in that semi truck. And it was about 113, reading at 113 degrees that day. And I was like, okay, guys, I had on heels, and I put on that yellow jacket, that crossing guard jacket thing. Oh my gosh. And I was walking towards the dang semi truck, and I just turned around. I never came back. And that was it.
That's worth not being haunted.
I was like, I'm not going in there. She was telling me like she's like, you don't have to wear heels. You don't have to do that. I didn't have to clean the semi truck. I was just responsible for the technical part of it. Like just telling them where to pick it up, drop it off, but she just told me, she's like, I need to clean it out. I said, okay, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I need the money. Oh no. And I'm like, somebody passed away in this. I can't. I'm not doing it. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, that's bad. That's really bad. Yeah. I've worked for a bunch of different jobs. All of them shitty. I've worked for Xbox customer support.
Yeah, we know that story.
That sounds awesome. What are you talking about?
I walked off the job and never came back.
Yes,
I've worked for Subway, Blockbuster. I was one of the Walmart workers who was paid so poorly that I qualified for food stamps. And was already had a bachelor's, was getting my master's. I was very, very depressed at the time.
Yeah.
All the shitty jobs, all the shitty retail jobs. And I think
have you ever been fired?
I've never been fired. Close to getting fired though, multiple times. One of them was when I was working at Subway. At that time, I was already working at Blockbuster 2 and going to school, so I had multiple jobs. And they wanted me to clean the toilet. It was before dinner rush, and we were preparing for that. And somebody had explosive diarrhea all over the toilet, the sink, the mirror. And they're like, "You have to clean this. This is your job." And I'm like, "I'm sorry, but no."
That sounds more than just explosive. That sounds intentional.
It was as if they stood up on the toilet and they just shit explode like a shit bomb.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, listen. I'm not qualified to do this. There's so much shit there that this is not just a one-person job, but I'm gonna get hepatitis. And I'm sorry, I don't make enough money to do this. This is above my pay grade.
But
so
you need to put yourself up by the bootstraps. Okay.
Yeah.
That's the only way you can make it here.
Yeah. Well, I was saved though because my coworker came in and he did it. Otherwise I was gonna be fired, or probably not fired, but maybe written up. But the manager was very, very mad and called me and reprimanded me. And I'm like, I draw the line there. I'm not gonna do this.
Yeah.
But I was in a position to where I already had another job, so I could kind of, flex my leverage. But if it was just that one job, then I would have had to suck it up and probably actually vomited because it was bad. So yeah.
I had a really weird job. I worked 12-hour night shifts, which was very fun. Completely destroyed me mentally. What?
What was the start time?
It changed. I think it was 8 p.m. for a while. I know that. So 8 p.m. to 8 a.m.
Oh. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it was not good. But it was customer service, but it was for it was for a website that broadcast international TV for people that were living in North America that wanted to watch shows from back home. So part of my job was to watch shows that I did not understand because it's a different language, and look for issues in those signals while I'm also dealing with customers who are having issues. So 12-hour night shifts of watching TV from India, from all over the world.
That's
but
weird.
India really stands out because they have a lot of crazy soap operas with these these crazy camera angles. Yeah, because you have to look for issues in the signals, right? So part of the job is going through each channel and seeing if there's any problem with this channel, any problem in the signal, and then report it if there is, and then also deal with the customers.
Watching TV, but if it jumped or something, or if the
yeah. Because we're talking.
Did you work for an IPTV company or something?
I'm not sure how would classify it. We're talking this is probably just around when YouTube was just launching. This is 2007.
Okay.
So it was early days of online
YouTube,
TV.
Yeah, YouTube was around for 2 years then. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was a weird job, and it was also not a lot of pay either. And then I've had a lot of my jobs is me not getting paid, because I really tried for a while to break into writing about video games, as a gaming journalist, and I wrote so I did a lot of just free work for a lot of sites. But then I wrote a couple articles for IGN.com, massive website.
Oh, that's big. Yeah, that's
yeah,
huge.
and they never paid me, and they were supposed to.
I've been on jobs like that too.
I sent the invoice in.
Well, fuck 'em.
Yeah, I sent the invoice in. I tried. I followed up, and they just ghosted me. They never. And the articles are up. They're not terrible. The editor was happy with them. So, but this is a company issue. They just did not. And apparently this is a widespread issue. At least it was back then. A lot of writers would just, would submit work and they just would not get paid. and because they're remote, they just figure, hey, we'll wait this out. This guy's not going to get to us. And because I'm in Canada and they're American company,
they was like, yeah, he ain't.
Like,
this is good.
What's he going to do?
Yeah,
what's he going to do? So yeah.
Matt, what jobs did you work that were questionable or?
I was a dishwasher at Applebee's for a number of years in my youth. I liked the job because I got free food, and at the time, Applebee's was really good.
When the food was kind of fresh.
What's up?
When the food was kind of fresh.
Yeah, Applebee's, like back in like the mid 2000s, Applebee's was like top notch. The hamburgers, the chicken wrap, the orange chicken bowl, that was all good stuff. And then they had the apple crisp over the vanilla ice cream for dessert that they were known for. Applebee's was my favorite.
That didn't turn your tummy like instantly.
Oh no, they screwed up. Over the years, they took all the best things off their menu.
It's like, we're gonna microwave TV dinners from now on.
Yeah,
and so I wouldn't work at Applebee's now because their food's not as good now.
Do you go to Applebee's? Like when you go to Applebee's, do you sit and like remember the time that
I've not been to Applebee's in years, and that Applebee's I worked at has closed down since.
Like Lance said, you got a sophisticated palate now, so it's not something that you'd be like, let me go to Applebee's. Yeah, it's not.
And then I was also I did a lot of PA work on commercials and film, and then I did extra work along with that because it just made sense because I was already doing it. PA, let me tell you, PA work on any sort of film set, whether it be commercial or a movie or TV, it is the that without a doubt is the hardest job.
Me too. Universal.
The hours, what they expect you to do, and like I'm not saying they expect you to do like anything like super crazy, but like PA is really like you need to do whatever the hell they ask you to do, whether it be blocking off.
And they treat you like shit, at least in my experience.
Yeah, they do.
They do.
I've been pretty lucky. I mean, but you'll have to block off people from going down a street, and obviously you have no right to do that. You're basically just asking people not to go down a certain street while people are shooting, and people can either say, "Oh yeah, no problem," or say "fuck you" and keep walking down that street, and then they go past where they're shooting, and then the people who are shooting are mad at you for not stopping them, even though you have no legal right to stop them. You gotta sometimes drive back and forth from where they're shooting to like the tents where everything is set up. If it's not exactly where they're shooting, for example, PA work is hard work.
I worked on a show called.
They have you work like 12 plus hours too.
Yeah.
And it's all on your feet, running around, doing everything. It's tough. It's props to anyone doing film set work on films.
I worked on one episode of the show called Pick a Puppy. I'm not sure if anyone ever watched that show, remembers that show.
No, but it sounds adorable.
I think it was. It eventually went to CMT. Do you guys have CMT there? It's like the country music television.
Yeah,
country music television.
We never watched it.
Do we
I'm not sure if it was initially
country
on there,
music television in the United States of America? By God, we do.
Anyway, so I worked one episode on that show. I'm not even lying. The worst people I've ever worked for in my entire life is the crew on that fucking show. I hope someone finds them and knows who I'm talking about. I forget all their names. They're all terrible. It was like I was working. A friend of mine was like a PA for the show on a regular basis. He asked me if I wanted to help out. Helped out a day, and they treated him like absolute garbage. Just the way they spoke to him, the way they kept like poking it, the entire day was just ragging on him. And I feel like they weren't comfortable with me yet, really. But my God, I was like shaking with anger by the end of the day because I wanted to just like deck these people. But I didn't want to ruin this job for him, right? So I never went back. He asked me if I wanted to help again. I'm like, no, I'm sorry, I cannot work for those people. Just absolutely pieces of garbage. There's some people that work in TV, they're just terrible.
Yeah, no, I have a lot of friends who are producers because after college, some of my friends went on to be producers. I worked local news. I didn't like it. I worked radio, didn't care for it too much. So I moved to New York. I wanted to be the free spirit, and I was living in New York. worked at Gap on 34th Street. Shouts out to them. I dressed the men in the men's department who would, because people in New York are entitled. So they would leave their jobs, come there to get dressed, to go other places. So I had to dress them, but they just paid me as not that. And I literally did a whole fashion show at that 34th Street. But anyway, shout out to that. My side job was I was working on a show, Blood, Sweat, and Heels on VH1 at the time. And my boss, I want to name her so bad, but I'm not, was one of the people on the show. And you guys, like, she got me in. So she got me in under the guise of, okay, young Black journalist in New York. And she's a journalist herself. So the show's about a lot of women, Black journalists or people in radio, women in television, women of color who were living in New York and making it. And, you know, she was like, oh, I see myself in you, that whole thing. And I was so excited. I was like, oh my God, yes. That lady was so mean to me on camera. Okay. She was so mean to me. I had to follow her everywhere. I thought I was going to get to do journalism work behind her. And I signed a contract where she was going to pay me. Okay. So I did months of work while working at 34th Street Gap. Okay. My work included, though, it was slavery. My work included like cleaning her home, writing an article and signing it with her name on it for like a big hip hop. I forgot what the magazine was called at the time. And then she said, helping her throw this big event. I want to name that event, but helping her throw that big event, doing most of the work. And then when I got there, she got upset that I had red lipstick on. She sent me back to take the red lipstick off. I still made it in Essence magazine that day, though. I was looking a fool with dry lips, but I still made it in Essence magazine, looking sad. On camera, the producers, one time she needed to, they had one of the scenes where she was going out to go, the vacation scene. And she was like, she didn't have the clothes. She sent me to go get the clothes for her last minute, some boutique that was about to close. The woman, when I got there, was upset, but she told me to just pick the clothes, and I did. And I picked the clothes and I ran, like I got on every train to get back to her, got back to her. Cameras is in my face. I was just so uncomfortable. Cameras is in my face. Get into her apartment, small ass apartment, just literally so small. And she just used to feel like it was just everything. Don Lemon lived like across the way. She lived in like that type of place. But she threw the items at my feet. She was like, what is this? On camera. She threw it at my feet. And I'm looking at her like, how do I handle this? I'm really trying to say, like, how do I handle this? I know I've been, I've worked these kind of jobs already, especially in TV news, but I didn't I'm on camera. Okay. And she's,
can we see this still?
No, I told them when I left. So I left I left that day and I never came back. She sent me a cease and desist. She said, no more. Like, don't give him my information out. Cause I knew a lot about her. Okay, I did. And she said, and I told her, you need to cut all those clips. The producers saw me when I was leaving and they said she was 100% wrong and they weren't going to show that part. And they ended up not showing any of me because I emailed her. I said, don't if you look, lady, this ain't nothing to me. Like, I don't have anything to lose. What are you going to take from me? I'm in New York, ain't got no money. I'm like everybody else. I'm 21. And she told me I would never be anything. Like I would never make it in this business. And then she ended up seeing me like go viral back in 2016. And she wrote me this long post about, oh my God, could you come on my show? I left her on red.
Good.
Good. You got the last word.
Screw her.
Like,
oh my God.
She was terrible. She was nasty. And I took a lot of it for a long time. And that was the last straw for me. Like those people in power at that time, people don't even know her name today. But in that time, like those people in power, they are so mean. They're so mean.
I don't get how people can get like at one point she must have been, where you were, right? Like unless she was always in a privileged position.
No,
but
she
I imagine
wasn't.
So how do you go from working is it just like, oh, I got mine, so now I get to do this to other people that they did to me? Like that, I guess that's the mindset.
Back then, when you we're looking for internships or assistant jobs, especially in journalism, because I wanted to go a different route, and I did get a TV job. I didn't like it, especially with what they were trying to pay me straight out of school. I didn't like it. I was in like the middle of nowhere. I didn't like it. So when I went to New York, they have this thing where people are like, you have to feel pain, like working for somebody. You gotta struggle. You can't feel good. It can't feel like you're learning. You have to struggle. It has to hurt. It has to break you in order for you to make it in the business. And that I was like,
such an old school mindset.
Yes.
Like,
and at that time it was
why is that useful to anybody?
Yeah,
it's not.
It was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. And it was like that sleep when you're dead mentality that, in order for you to get here, she told me, you can't just get here like that. And I'm like, girl, I really know how to write better than you. I think I'm you don't even present yourself well in the room. You don't. She got into a fight on camera. And I was like, now, sis, you're like, at the time I thought that was old. And meanwhile, I'm that age now. But I'm like, you're like 35. I'm 33. I'm like, you're old, lady. And like, why are you fighting? And she got sued for it. She went to jail. I'm like, you have to. Yeah, she was
already good. Whatever. Life came back to her and hit her in the ass.
Yes, it did. And so, if you're nasty to people, and people are like, I was so excited I got to work with a Black journalist who, it knows people and like who can show me the ropes and how to do things. But she thought me doing slave work for her was going to teach me how to, like how you see in the movies, like it was going to teach me how to be a better journalist. I'm sorry, that just wasn't it. No.
Yeah. God, what a terrible person. Like, I almost want to go back and watch their show just so I can rage, but I'm not gonna
you would see when I say the fight, you'd see which one it was. Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, we're an hour into this. Should we start talking about ceasefire today?
Yeah.
Yes.
We don't, and by the way, I think while we're doing this, we don't have to only cover, horrifying and horrible stories, which there's obviously a plethora, but there is some other stories as well that could be incorporated. If anyone didn't follow it, Bassam Yousef had an awesome appearance on Piers Morgan yesterday. It was absolutely brilliant. It was not, a crazy debate or anything like that. It was like 2 hours of him very rationally breaking down everything point by point by point. And he also got him to try some olive oil from the Gaza Strip. And while Piers was uncomfortable about it, because Piers clearly was just like looking awkwardly at it, he's like, okay, no, I'll try that a little bit. At the very end, when he eats it, they're dipping it, and then like right before he bites it, Bassam Yousef's like, by the way, Israel has uprooted over 600,000 olive trees in the Gaza Strip alone. And then Piers eats it. He's like, that's delicious. I know.
Piers Morgan, I gotta say, he is like cleaning up like this. Yeah, I know. He has used this conflict to bring on. I mean, he must know these are like he's choosing good guests. He's so odd because he'll like go back and forth. Like I'm not sure what his actual position is, but he specializes in kind of playing the moment and knowing how to go viral. Like he understands right now what I think he gets what's happening, which is why he's picked the kind of guest that he has. And we see the result of that. There's been several guests that have kind of gone viral because of their appearance on his show, and I think he knows what he's doing.
So has Piers Morgan, because I haven't really watched him, because I don't really care for him, but I know that I'll see him pass through my timeline.
Yeah, he's terrible.
Yeah,
just to be clear.
So has he denounced like
Hamas,
Israel?
Yeah.
Like, has he like what they're doing? Because nobody should be dying. We know that, but has he like been specific or anything? Like I would like to know.
He plays the middle so much.
Yeah, he's very in the middle on purpose.
So he's unbiased. He's doing the journalism.
I would say
unbiased.
I would say it's biased to not be able to not be able to openly recognize objective reality. I think is bias. Like
he is.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah,
he basically is being purposefully obtuse, in my opinion. I'm doing a video about this whole interview too because it was really, really good. And the moment that like I'm starting this video out with is him saying he doesn't know if Hamas has to be eliminated. How exactly do you do it in any other way than Israel's doing? And then so
question. Yeah.
Bassam Yousef made the point, like, okay, if there's a terrorist in the Empire State Building, do you blow up the whole building? And then Piers Morgan is like, well, that's the question. And then Boss was like, that's not a real question, though. That's not, so Bassam Yousef is able to use satire and dark humor to point out the ridiculousness of this neutral position that Piers Morgan takes. And he does such a phenomenal job. And it's a really long interview. Like, he goes through the history of anti-Semitism, the way that Palestinians aren't able to return, but yet they see people from around the world who are Jewish, and you can live in New York and you can just come and you could take a Palestinian house, and how this breeds anger and radicalization. And there's no better, promoter of terrorism and Hamas than Israel based on what they're doing. And so, it's a really, really good interview. But Piers Morgan, I think that, as David was saying, I'm pretty sure that he understands the situation, but as a journalist, he's got to play the middle. He can't, there are boundaries that he doesn't want to cross. And a part of it also is, I think that he is willing to subject himself to humiliation for views and clicks. And I'm glad, because these people are
humiliation fetish.
They're crushing him. And we don't king shame, right? But like bringing on Bassam Yousef in that first interview, like,
no, you do you.
Oh, it was amazing. It was so good. Even like Cenk Uygur, really great interview. Like, I have criticisms of Cenk, great interview. Hassan, he brought on other people as well. And
low key.
He gets his cheeks clapped every single time, but people want to see him get clapped because they hate him, myself included. Like, I'm not interested in watching Piers Morgan regularly. I don't want to see an interview with Ben Shapiro.
I've been obsessed. It's so great.
It's got me to watch. It's brilliant.
Well, I mean, look at the views he's getting. Yeah, like Mike was saying, he'll put himself on the line in the sense that he's fine looking like an idiot to get 10 million views on an interview. Like, that's kind of his.
I will say though, like, what is the revenue generator for his show? Like, it seems like it's a well produced show. I doubt getting a couple 100,000 views on Twitter.
Oh, he's getting like tens of
it's 20 million people.
His YouTube,
but
20 million YouTube views is a lot of money.
On YouTube, it's getting views. If it's on YouTube, yes,
like 20 million YouTube views.
Okay, on YouTube, okay. I thought it was just
takes years for me to accumulate 20 million on all the videos I post throughout the year. Like, it takes years, so it's like he is doing numbers.
All right.
How about Elon Musk in Palestine? I seen something quick about that. I didn't go into it, but he
probably about the woke mind virus or something like that.
No, it was probably about Starlink.
Funding?
Oh, okay.
No, something about him on the right side of it all.
That's probably the
No, he's not on the right side. He
offered, I didn't go
a bunch of people. A bunch of people called him out for hypocrisy on him providing Ukraine with Starlink satellite services when their internet communication was cut off, and how when Israel cut off Gaza's internet, there was no push for Starlink. But black people, there's a number of things here. First of all, Elon Musk is not giving Starlink to Ukraine out of the kindness of his heart. The United States government's paying him a lot of money for it. Is he asking the exact, like, is he paying like a percentage? He's like, I believe I remember he is like, he's not getting the full amount from the U.S. government, but he's getting like 90% or some ridiculously high amount, to the point where like he's making money on it. Like, he's not like,
he's making
when you
money off of it. So it's not, because
or
what I read,
at least cutting even. Like, there's no like loss from Elon Musk. Like, he's donating communications to Ukraine and it's on his own dime. No, that's not what's going on. No, to Gaza, no. People thought, people don't seem to understand what Starlink is. It's not just you put a satellite in the air and anyone can use it. There's these big fucking devices you need on the ground in the territory you want communicating to the satellite. So if he was even able to provide if he even wanted to provide Starlink to Gaza, he needed to somehow find a way to convince Egypt or Israel to let these giant devices into Gaza so they could actually connect to the satellite. People seem to think Elon Musk could just go, oh, Starlink in the air, go give communication services to Palestine. No, that's not how it works.
And that's problematic.
But people were like asking him to do that, like it was. And then when the communications came back on, I heard people thanking him, even though nothing happened. He could not even even if he wanted to, he could not have done that in the amount of time because he would need to get the physical devices. That's not only the problem. Then a bunch of people started calling him out for it, saying, "Oh, you let Hamas use terrorists use your Starlink," and then he came out and said, "No, I'm only gonna let legitimate organizations use it." After I ask Israel permission to let them use it. Oh. So of course he's not going to let anyone in Gaza use Starlink. Who is Israel going to give permission to in Gaza to use Starlink? Please. That was his cop-out. That was his way to play both sides. That was his way to seem like he wasn't a hypocrite, that he has he has a flat line standard for everybody, but then also rein it back all the way because there's no way Israel's going to ever let him put a single Starlink device in Gaza.
Okay. And also, by the way, a way for people to talk about him because he of course, once again, during this massive thing, he has to make himself the character. Like every massive story going on, he has to insert himself somehow.
Yes, because I seen this story and I want to say it was on a very popular Instagram page, very, very popular Instagram page. Millions of people are, and the headline that they put for the story was Elon Musk to help Palestine.
Send me it. Can you send it to me? Because I want to call that out.
They deleted it.
Oh, interesting. What was the
I
page?
went to go look. I don't want to say. Okay,
say it.
But
say it.
I'm trying to protect these people, and I don't know why.
Just DM.
No, you gotta say it.
But,
who fucked up? They should get shit for it. Who fucked up?
It's misinformation, but I think they caught it.
Was it Pop Bass? Was it Pop Tings?
No, but
was it the Daily Loud? I'll go through all these shitty ass social media news websites.
I said no. In all the comment section, they don't go because on it says what they'll do is post the picture with their headline and then like a small caption, and then they'll say click here to read more. And none of the people in the comment section are gonna click there to read more.
Was it the shade room
section? And then
He's gonna get it eventually.
I don't know. And then they'll like I went to the comment section and I'm looking at everybody and they're saying, see, you know, not everybody is a bad person. And I'm like, no.
Oh my God,
bad person.
You gotta tell me.
Was it Mashable?
Listen, as long as I'm there, that will never happen.
But I just hate it because it's like he is like, you know, the queen of misinformation on his platform and the leader of that. I hate that these other pages were trying to uplift this man. He's evil. And even if he were on the right side of it, he should be. Like, these are the people I feel like they're going to highlight that so much. And like we were talking earlier, David, sometimes they stick so much on that when they could be talking more about the issue to properly inform the people about what's going on and how they can help instead of focusing on
But it's more of an interesting story that this jackass did this one good thing that he didn't actually do, but maybe he did. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And now millions of people, however many people read that headline and didn't get updated, now think, oh, but he's actually a good guy because he did this one. And now they're going to carry that information for them with them for the rest of their lives, thinking that Elon did that thing that he didn't do.
Yeah.
Something all of you can do at home, though, is go to ceasefire today. I think we should plug that just quickly.
ceasefiretoday.com.
Yeah, and I do want to make some calls too.
When I was covering the Elon Musk giving the Starlink services to Ukraine, and I wrote about how he bullshitted about how it went down and that the U.S. government was paying for a huge portion of the Starlink distribution. I had received messages from like people connected to benefactors in Ukraine who basically were mad at me for writing about this because it was hurting their ability to work with Musk to get Starlink to Ukraine, because the reporting wasn't giving Musk full credit for it, and that it came out the U.S. government was paying for it, and Musk was no longer interested in helping them out because it no longer made him look like he was doing the whole thing. It is absolutely insane that anyone would give this guy credit for anything like that.
Even the technology that he used to make Starlink, by the way, is very heavily government funded. All of you Americans, your taxpayers, are paying for all of these companies that Elon Musk boasts that he's like, oh, I'm an independent fucking guy flying into outer space care, and all that kind of stuff. It like that's all public funds at the end of the day. But anyways, I want to quickly tell everybody there is some good news in terms of what canvassing can accomplish and do. The NDP, the third largest party in Canada, they just made a statement after receiving, according to them, 100,000 letters, include myself in there, 100,000 letters, thousands of phone calls. They have not only called for a ceasefire, they're demanding an end to all military sales to Israel by the Canadian government. So that is that's a direct result of a whole bunch of canvassing action. So please, if you do have 2 minutes of your day, go to Ceasefire Today if you're an American. There's resources to do it in parts of Europe, all that kind of stuff. There's a whole bunch of resources on that website to show you how you can email your lawmakers, sign petitions. If you want money, you can donate to Doctors Without Borders near the end of it, stuff like that. And yeah, keep calling Congress members, as we're going to be doing live on the show. And I think if we're doing that, the Canadians might have to shut up. But
I thought I missed it. I was late. I was like, oh, we're not doing this? You guys are already talking. So you started talking about FTX and SBF?
Can we even broadcast you guys doing that? Because I'm not sure.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, we can.
Oh, I can do it. I know I can. I'm in New York.
I'm not sure Canadians can even, like, am I even allowed to broadcast someone else doing this?
I don't think Canadians are even allowed to use the phone.
Are you guys even
we may not. We may not.
Do Canadians have phones?
No.
Well, listen, we wanted to...
It's a syrup-based contact.
Yes. So we wanted to call on camera because I always hear from people who they feel like they're socially awkward or don't know what to say. So the website makes it easy. There's a script, but you don't even have to follow it. It's just very basic. I'm going to call my representative. She is fairly progressive. This is a progressive district, but she does not support the ceasefire. And
who's your rep?
Suzanne Bonamici.
Huh.
Yeah. So she's kind of like an Elizabeth Warren type progressive. And yeah, I think that also, by the way, there's a March on DC 11/4. There's also a petition. Highly encourage you to sign. Over 100,000 people have signed this. There's a lot of resources here. You can donate. So ceasefiretoday.com. It's 200,000 now. Very nice.
It's 237 was the last count.
Wow.
Oh, very nice. Yeah. So yeah, I'll call. We'll lead by example.
There's already one U.S. senator, not Bernie Sanders, but one U.S. senator has called for a ceasefire. I think it's going to be a domino effect. Keep applying pressure. The more pressure,
Dick Durbin came out.
Dick Durbin,
which is not the first person I would have guessed.
I will say though that whenever there was an attack on Ilhan Omar or Rashida Tlaib, he was usually one of the people to jump to their defense.
Weird.
So who knows? But I'll say it was surprising that he was the first, but I'm not surprised that he did it because I remember him being, the first to come to their side to defend them from attacks whenever people would try to paint them as anti-Semitic or hit them with attack them with Islamophobic remarks and stuff.
Good for him.
Let me share the link in all of our chats. So if you guys are cool, I'll call right now. I'll put it on speaker.
One quick step before you do. If you are a Canadian who's watching and you're one of the fans of David Dole here for the Thirst Trap picks, before you go to his Instagram, be sure to check out rcommons.
What are you talking about?
rcommons.ca/members/en. That's rcommons.ca/members/en. That's how you find your local MP, and that's how you contact. That's how I did it. You contact your local MPs, including their phone number for their office, their email address, their physical address to mail letters. And I just also want to reiterate very strongly, never send threats in messages you're sending to politicians. You will not only be put on lists, you will have police officers visit your house. I'm not even fucking around with that.
Also, don't just send threats even if that wasn't the case, because it's not going to convince anyone to do what you want them to do.
It's not useful and it's against the law, so don't do that.
Yes.
Yeah. Be responsible. We're just making phone calls. 9 times out of 10, you're just going to talk to an answering machine. You're not going to talk to a real person. But if you do, it's not a big deal. You're going to get a staffer. They're going to jot down your comments. And that is something that they'll deliver to the representative or your MP. So
never in the history has a congressperson come out and change their mind on something, and when asked about it, they said, "Oh, my constituents said they'd kill me if I did."
Well, ask Republicans though. I don't know.
True.
They're all afraid of MAGA over there. Those
all right.
crazy people.
I'm gonna call. I'll put it on speaker so you can hear. It's not a big deal.
All right, everybody. Here's how you do it.
This is how it's done, folks. Leading by example.
Office in Oregon's 1st Congressional District. We're sorry we missed your call. Please leave us a message including your name, phone number, and email address. If you need help with a federal agency, please let us know which agency. If you are calling to leave a comment for the Congresswoman, please do so after the tone. Thank you for calling and have a wonderful day.
Hi, Congresswoman Bonamici. My name is Mike Figueredo. I'm a constituent of yours. And first, I want to thank you for voting against the $14 billion aid package to Israel. And I also want to highly, highly encourage you to sign on to Cori Bush and Rashida Tlaib's ceasefire resolution. It's really important that you do this as soon as possible. This is really important. Please sign on again to the ceasefire resolution currently. We need all hands on deck. And if you want my continued support, this is something that I really, really want you to do. So do it. That's it.
Didn't add or else, which is
good job.
All right, I'll go.
There's going to be consequences if you don't. No.
Where did you call? You just use the ceasefire today number and it connects you.
I just Googled my congresswoman's office. Yeah, you can call DC.
I'm doing that now.
See, a lot of people think I'm in AOC's district. I wish. I'm not. I'm right outside of it. Like if I was to move just a few blocks, I'd be in her district. I'm actually in Grace Ming's district, who is a very ardent supporter of Israel.
Oh shit.
So yeah. Mine will who knows, but I'm gonna do it.
You might have to do a threat, Matt. No, I'm just kidding.
No. Let's not even joke about that.
Yeah, obviously I'm kidding, folks. I'm kidding.
He's kidding.
In Roblox, he said. No, don't even do it in Roblox.
Yes. We're just joking.
If you're going to be in Roblox, go attend the pro-Palestinian protests that are taking place in Roblox.
Yeah,
they look adorable. Absolutely,
I love that.
Yeah. Oh, and while we're waiting for Matt Binder to set up, I don't know if y'all saw. If you know who XQC is, he's the 2nd or 3rd biggest streamer on Twitch. He's getting dragged really badly for fucking, doing React Andy streams to like the bombing of Gaza and stuff like that.
I saw screenshots. What a lunatic.
Horrible piece of shit.
And when people called him out, he responded by showing a picture of himself with all this money and holding money up to his ears. And then someone else is like, your soul is still empty. And then he like showed off the most ugly watch I've ever seen in my life. But I'm sure it's worth like a house, right? It's like just a watch covered in diamonds and shit like that. But anyways, Kotaku magazine, which is like a super popular video game magazine, called him a scumfuck. It was
they ripped him apart. Yeah,
it was like scumfuck. Excuse me.
Well, it was quoting somebody else. It was quoting it. It was
in the headline.
I know. It's brilliant. It's a brilliant way to write a headline because you are actually quoting somebody, but you can put it in the headline.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna call. Here we go.
All right.
Thank you for calling the office of Congresswoman Grace Meng. Our office is currently closed. Please leave a message including your name, phone number, street address, and email address, or call back during our business hours of 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. If you have a case or concern, please call our district office in Flushing, New York at 718-358-6364. Thank you and have a nice day.
Hi, Congresswoman Ming. My name is Matt Binder. I'm one of your constituents in Flushing, New York. And I'm calling, first, let me thank you for, over the summer, you had a number of passport events to help people get their passports. You helped my kids get their passport for the first time. So thank you for putting those events together. But I'm going to ask for another thing, hopefully, you can do for your constituents here. And that is call for a ceasefire. And also, in order to, in Gaza, in order to not only, stop what's happening there in terms of the number of innocent civilian casualties, many of them children, but also so we can focus on negotiating, getting those hostages out of there as well. Thank you so much for your consideration. Hope you can support the ceasefire. Have a nice night. Thought I'd throw in a little bit extra for mention the hostages, obviously, as someone.
I think starting with a compliment is also like a brilliant way to go about it, because you're showing you're not a crazy person, right? Like,
right.
It's like, hey, you did this good thing. Thank you for doing this good thing. But also now maybe do something for me. You know what I mean?
You approach in good faith. Yeah.
How am I getting phone numbers? Because I'm like, it's just providing me emails for mine.
You have to just search them, and then there's a house.gov.
They'll have a phone number with them.
Like there's like their name.house.gov, and there'll be their phone number on there.
I'm on.
Who's your congressperson, Rebecca? I could look too.
I could go while you're waiting.
Barry Loudermilk. Loudermilk. Barry, Barry.
So there's a couple of different offices. There's Cartersville, Woodstock, and DC. Do you have a preference?
No.
Okay, I'll give you.
We can do Carter's. We can do Woodstock.
Okay. So that is 770-429-1776. And by the way, folks, this is all public information. I'm not doxing the congressman. They put this there for constituents, so.
It's also available at the website we're advertising, ceasefiretoday.com. If you go there, you'll most likely be able to find a lot of politicians with their public addresses. And once again, we are asking all of you to send...
If you have reached this recording, we are assisting others where it is after our normal business hours of 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. We will get back to you as soon as we are able. If you have an emergency, please dial extension 204 and explain your emergency. Someone will respond as soon as possible. To leave a message for the congressman or any of our staff, please press 0. To replay this message, please...
Watch somebody pick up. I'm just kidding.
Please leave your message now. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Rebecca Azor. Congressman, I'm asking that you demand for a ceasefire. We want you to support and be on the right side of history to save people's lives. And we demand that you support Cori Bush and Rashida Tlaib on this effort. So ceasefire now, please, and thank you.
Perfect.
That was sweet. See, I gotta be sweet with them. I don't like them though. See, because you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But no.
Let me tell you,
it feels empowering.
Let me tell you though, my congresswoman, she's like, so I remember reading. This is like 5 or more, maybe like 8 years ago now. She was like one of the main people behind a bill that gave billions of dollars to the Iron Dome. So I mean, my call's probably going to deaf ears, but who knows? I don't get it. I really.
They're getting calls from people with a lot more money than you. That's
right.
It's really unbelievable. Like even if like how are you watching what's going on and not like let's say you don't you think Israel's got to do this to the Palestinians, which is just disgusting. But let's just say that it just doesn't make sense from the perspective of freeing the hostages. I don't get it. How do you drop those bombs like that and say you're trying to save the hostages that are there? I mean, it's clearly not what they're trying to do. I wish the media and everybody who's saying this would just be truthful. Saving the hostages is not the priority. Israel is not trying to save the hostages. If they go in there and they find some, sure, they're going to take them. But they're also dropping bombs, knowing that it could hit them. And they don't seem to really care about that all that much. So, I mean,
it's simply about supporting Israel's position. It's not about logically what even makes sense for the hostages. It's just about what is Israel doing? Oh, they're doing that? Okay, I support that. Like that says, or whatever their lobbying group is, wants them to support.
Like I said this in the Majority Report earlier today, but I wanted to share it here too. If, this country is obviously very pro-cop, but one thing I know people would criticize the police about, is if there was a hostage situation and the police just went in guns a-blazing, killing a bunch of kids and innocent people who were being held hostage. They would be...
more like if they drop bombs on the location where the hostages were being held.
Yeah. I mean, everybody would criticize that and say it was an absolute failure of the police. This is the equivalent. Like, we would never, if someone during a robbery held a bunch of people in a store hostage and the police were like, we got to stop this fucking guy. Fuck it. We're just going in and just shooting everywhere. And if we kill some people, it's going to, we got to stop this guy. Everyone would think that was insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
David, do you want to go next?
On what?
On the calls.
Who's David gonna call? David is.
Can we? We can't. I don't think we can record calls
to our MPs.
I looked this up. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You can't.
Okay.
No, that's what I thought you mentioned earlier. That's why I thought you said we had to be on mute.
No, I was asking.
Can you?
Oh no, no.
But y'all in the same area no, you're not in the same area.
No, we're on
no.
Oh, really?
Okay.
But I see it says that
I'm on the west side.
Canada does have single party consent rule. You can record as long as one of the parties are involved, but it might vary depending on the province.
Seeing mixed results. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna risk it. I was seeing mixed results on that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look it up too. Let's find out.
Yeah,
it's so many different rules, but we want to just show solidarity and show people who are watching who maybe not know what they can do in this moment, feel a little helpless. That is it may be a small task, but it's something that you can do is call your local leaders, and you don't have to do it on camera, but you can do that. You have the option to do that. And just to do if you feel like you want to do something and there's nothing major you can do, you can't go to a protest for a certain reason. Just making a call on your own would be something that still has some weight to it. Okay.
It's an easy thing to do. I kind of want to call Bernie.
By the way, I am seeing that you can though. I am seeing that you can.
Oh,
as long as one of the participants consents,
and
that would be you.
I consent.
Mm. Well, here, I'm going to call Bernie really quick.
Okay.
I'm not a constituent, but I'm going to call him anyway because I voted for him twice, so I feel like I should have some sway over him. So I'll call Bernie really quick.
Hey, Bernie, it's Mike over in Washington. I'm nowhere near you, but...
You know me.
Wait, you're in Oregon, right? My bad. What would you do, Mike, if he actually picked up and was like, hello? It's Bernie Sanders.
I'd hang up.
Hello, you have reached the official Senate office in Washington, D.C. of U.S. Senator Bernie Sanders. If you have reached this message during normal business hours, all of our phone lines are full as we are experiencing a high volume of calls. If you are unable to leave a voicemail, please call us back another time so we can record your message. You can also send us a message at www.sanders.senate.gov/contact. Thank you again for contacting Senator Sanders' office.
Hi, Senator Sanders. I am so disappointed that you have not signed on to the ceasefire resolution, or really introduced the resolution that is a companion piece to the one that Congresswomen Tlaib and Cori Bush have introduced. It's so disappointing that you're calling for a humanitarian pause, because what happens after you get the humanitarian aid in? The bombs continue, and it's a half measure. And so I want you to be on the right side of history, as you usually are. I voted for you twice. I think you have a lot of great foresight, but on this issue, I really am so disappointed that you haven't done this yet. So I'm begging you to please reconsider and actually call for a ceasefire specifically, because this is what human rights organizations are calling for, and this is what Gazans are calling for. So please, Bernie, reconsider. Thank you. That's it.
I'm gonna call Bernie as a Bernie bro and say, "Hey Bernie, if you don't call for a ceasefire, I'm gonna start harassing women again. All right?"
Lance, were you gonna make a call? I don't know if you were trying to make a call earlier. I wasn't sure.
I can make a call. I mean, I've got legal advice from Matt Binder. So.
If you want, you can call an American politician, right?
You know what?
If it's
Call Bernie. Call Bernie and say, "Hey Bernie, you see what Hillary said? You really want to be with that? You want to stand with Hillary Clinton on this one?"
Okay, hold on.
Oh my God.
I should just be like, Bernie, I was your chief propagandist in 2016 and 2020, okay? This is not a good look. I can't spin this, and I don't want to spin this.
It's ringing. I don't know if you can hear it.
Mm-mm.
Thank you for calling the office of the Honorable Hetty Fry, Member of Parliament for Vancouver Centre. We're not able to take your call at this time. Please leave a detailed message with your name and phone number so we're able to get back to you as soon as possible. For media inquiries, please dial 613-793-5392. Thank you.
Please leave your message after the tone. After leaving a message, you can hang up or press pound for more options.
Hello, Hetty Fry, or most likely Hetty Fry's, I'm guessing, team that would be answering this call. My name is Lance. I'm one of your constituents, and I just wanted to call and please ask for you to support an effort to demand for a ceasefire. The federal NDP has already called for one, and I think it's time that the Liberals did as well. At this point, there's over 3,000 children who have died already in Gaza, and it's horrifying to witness every single day, but it's even more horrifying to know that we, as Canadians, are directly funding this, and we spent $22 million last year on military shipments to Israel alone. Can you please put an end to the violence and the suffering and please demand a ceasefire? Thank you.
It was beautiful.
Hold on. Someone just said, as if they were you in the comments. This is Lanzetta. Hello, this is Lance from the Surfs.
Lance from the Surfs here. What are your constituents?
You know what, should we call our senators too? I mean, Chuck Schumer is not going to listen to me on this one. I'll tell you that much too.
You should pretend to be Amy Schumer. That way he'll listen.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And literally, I mean, our other senator seems to be MIA, completely disappeared off the face of the planet.
Right.
When's the last time any of you have heard of from Kirsten Gillibrand?
Yeah.
Yeah. What the hell?
She used to trend
I forgot
a lot.
she was around.
Yeah.
You see, they just go missing, and who,
They do.
like,
They just go missing.
I think that we need to pull rank a little bit and be like, hi, you might know me from the Leftist Mafia podcast. I'm just letting you know.
I was considering saying on the
Leftist and just say the Mafia.
I was considering saying on the call that, hey, this is your constituent Matt Binder, and I'm calling on a stream alongside 2,000 other people who demand a ceasefire. I mean, I was thinking about, but I wasn't sure if that would have moved anything. It might have even just pissed them off.
They might like seek it out and try to get like some sort of a age restriction or something, or fuck with us. We benefit from anonymity.
Who are you calling?
All right, I'll call. Let me call Kirsten Gillibrand. That probably will have more movement than Schumer. But maybe call Schumer and bring up Dick Durbin. I'm going to do both. Let's do this.
There you go.
By the way, I want we should give time to our listeners to do this while we're still on the air. So
some of them are telling me that they're calling right now.
Perfect. Yes, call right now. Let's do this, everybody.
Hell yeah.
This isn't just us. I didn't eat dinner, so what I'm going to do after this call is I'm going to eat a sandwich, and you guys are all going to call. Okay.
Also, I like that some people are saying that they're calling to thank their representatives as well. Positive reinforcement goes a long way, honestly.
That's nice too.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been thanking senators that aren't mine, or not senators, but representatives that aren't mine, just on Twitter when they say that they sponsored it. I think that's really good because they're going to get attacked for doing this. So let them know that we have their backs as well.
All right, I'm calling Kirsten Gillibrand. Let's do this.
You should sing the message.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for calling
calling the Washington, D.C. office of Senator Kirsten Gillibrand of New York. If you are receiving this message, you have either called outside of our normal business hours or all of our lines are currently busy. Please leave a message after the tone and we will attend to your call as soon as possible. Thank you for calling.
You cannot record a message for...
Thank you for calling the Washington, D.C. office
What?
of Senator Kirsten Gillibrand of New York.
Did it say can't record a message?
They know.
Yeah.
Outside of our normal business hours or all of our lines are
Maybe it's
currently
full.
busy. Please leave a message after the tone and we will attend to your call as soon as possible. Thank you for calling.
This mailbox is full.
It's
Oh!
Wow.
Hopefully
Yeah,
that's
they
all
hate this
people
her.
calling for this.
Yeah, I
they've
hope
been looking
so.
for her too. So they're probably like, where are you? Like,
Yeah, I mean, if her
Yeah.
mailbox is full, I got to assume Schumer's is definitely going to be. Let me. It probably makes more sense to call your rep because
Your local,
it's much smaller than the entire state. You'll get through. But let me check Schumer because I'm not gonna. If there's room for my voicemail, I will certainly leave it.
I did get through to Bernie, and he probably has like half of his voice messages of people calling him a communist. So it's possible.
That is true. You did get through to Bernie, but you know what? There's a
Yeah.
lot less people in Vermont. So I mean.
Well, I called his DC office though.
No, I'm calling the DC offices too. But
Oh, are you
still
okay?
You still. I mean, you're probably.
Bernie's better
Bernie, you're
staffers
right.
that
I'm sure a
actually
lot
clear
of
out the
people call
inbox.
Bernie in general.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm specifically calling the DC office because I don't want them to. Because I'm assuming the local offices would be for local issues, and I don't want to. I'm trying to be as nice as possible. Don't want them, dealing with something. That's. Let's call Schumer.
Offer to send him a copy of Super Mario Wonder if he does it. Throw in a little bit of a goodie.
incentive.
Yeah.
Washington, D.C. office of Senator Chuck Schumer. We are unable to take your call right now. After the tone, please leave your name, number, and a brief message. You may also visit Senator Schumer's website at www.schumer.senate.gov for assistance with a federal agency, to leave a comment, or information on requesting a tour and other services. Thank you. You cannot record a message for Senator Schumer.
Again?
This mailbox is full.
Wow.
Hello, Cisco Unity Connection Messaging System.
I mean, Schumer makes sense as the head of the Dems in the Senate. I mean, but the fact that Gillibrand's was full too is very interesting.
The local office might be. I'm just gonna call my senator's local office because I feel like that might be a better chance, as long as they get the message. I'm gonna go ahead and dial that.
All right, well, everyone call. I'm gonna eat my sandwich right now because I am starving.
You
go
gotta
ahead.
get something in that.
What's the sandwich?
It's I got a spicy chicken sandwich from KFC.
Fancy.
You don't eat Applebee's no more.
Moved up from Applebee's.
Yeah, KFC is much fancier than Applebee's.
Hey, don't knock the double down.
Greetings. This is Senator Jeff Merkley. Thank you for calling my office. I appreciate hearing from you. Para escuchar este mensaje en español, oprima cero. My office is currently closed. I want to ensure that I get your message, so please listen to the following options to route your message to the correct member of my team to review when the office reopens. If you would like to share an opinion on an issue, please press 1 to leave me a voice message. If you are having issues, thank you again for taking the time to contact me about the issues that are important to you. I appreciate hearing from you. Voicemails are reviewed each workday in my office and opinions are shared with me, so please leave a message sharing your thoughts. I also welcome you to share your thoughts in an email by going to merkley.senate.gov/connect.
Oh my God,
I
get to the
look forward
message.
Hearing from Oregonians.
Record your message at the tone. When you are finished, hang up or press pound for more options.
Hi, Senator Merkley. My name is Michael Figueredo. I am a constituent of yours, and I just first of all want to thank you for co-sponsoring Medicare for All legislation. I think that overall you've been amazing on the issues, but one thing that I want to request is that you join Senator Dick Durbin in calling for a ceasefire in Gaza immediately. There is not a companion resolution that has been sponsored for the one in the House. So if you could sponsor a resolution or at least vocalize support for a resolution for a ceasefire in Gaza immediately, I think that would really go a long way, and I would really appreciate that as your constituent. So please make sure you do this immediately, because we cannot wait. 3,000 plus children have died in Gaza, and I think that you're in a position to where you could really make a difference if you used your voice. So please, please, please make sure you do this as soon as possible. Thank you.
Good.
All
Some
right.
people are emailing, like the voicemail said. You can also email. Some people in my stream are saying that they've done some email.
There you go.
And that was a better option for them. So whatever you can do, whatever you can do. If you don't want to leave a voicemail, you can email or whatever else. That's good too. So
Yeah, whatever you could. Yeah, even at, like, tweeting at them, asking them politely. It's a very easy thing to do, right? We're not. This isn't revolutionary praxis shit that we're doing. It's very basic. We're just trying to, now that Dick Durbin, I think, has done this, it really opened the door, right?
Yep.
As who was
It's
it
gonna
that
be a
said it's like a
domino
domino effect? Yeah. So like now is the time for everybody to pounce on this opportunity. And this is, I read an article today. I wish I could remember who wrote it, but it was about how progressives were really reluctant to call for a ceasefire. And Ro Khanna, for example, he was reluctant to go further than Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren. So he's calling for a humanitarian pause because that's what they're doing. So currently we have a bunch of members of Congress all looking at each other to see what they're doing. And they're waiting for the other to jump first before they jump. It's pathetic, but this is the reality of the situation. But now that Dick Durbin has chosen to do it, I mean, you
were so right to mention that part about the humanitarian pause, though, because like at the end of the day, that is just people trying to be able to like justify, this is a horrifying atrocity. True, I see the suffering, the fact that we're starving a civilian population of half children. We need a pause, but what happens after the pause? You go right back. Like, if anyone doesn't know, a ceasefire is usually overseen by international bodies to make sure that both parties are no longer attacking each other in order to have diplomatic relations. That's the purpose of a ceasefire. A humanitarian pause literally means they're going to pause the bombing for a couple days, a week, we don't know, and then a couple trucks will go in. But as of right now, they've had what the U.S. Department has said is a trickle of trucks, 45. Gaza is dependent on 100 trucks a day to maintain the horrifying state of living that they had prior to the bombings. And so now we're already at the people are starving, people are dehydrated. The biggest cancer hospital in Gaza just ran out of fuel. And they made an announcement about that, saying now just thousands of patients are going to die if we don't do anything, kind of shit, right? So yeah.
Thank you for clarifying what a ceasefire is, because while people are hearing that, they're not really understanding what that is. And the way when they first called for a ceasefire, some representatives were saying for the ceasefire, remember what they did to Ilhan Omar. They made it seem like she was a terrorist for saying that. And then with Rashida as well. And, anybody who supported that. And so now, how you defined it, how you broke it down is for people to understand what that is, because people just hear that and are like, oh no, but come on. First of all, the words should tell you, but some people really don't understand what it is and what it entails.
And it's so important that these senators aren't sidestepping what people in Gaza and human rights organizations are saying, because for them to say ceasefire and you to say humanitarian pause, you're kind of undermining their cause. That's not what they're trying to build support for right now. That's not what the protesters out in the streets are saying they want. So I find it disingenuous and just really dirty of people who, like Bernie Sanders, who are making this noise about a humanitarian pause. So it makes it seem as if he acknowledges the suffering, but he's still not saying what needs to be said. So it's a coward move. And now is the time for moral courage. Bernie Sanders has always been morally courageous. He hasn't been the best on this issue, but he's gotten better. And for him to kind of pen this article in The Guardian about a humanitarian pause and share, videos of him calling for a humanitarian pause, it's chicken shit. We need a ceasefire. That's what we need. The bombing doesn't need to stop for 5 minutes and then resume. The bombing needs to stop, period. And I despise that he's refusing to get on the right stand, that Dick Durbin came out before him. That's fucking wild to me.
It is really bizarre. It's very out of character for him, and it's something that it's because Dick Durbin did it. What's his excuse? What's his reasoning as to does he truly believe? Because I have a hard time believing that he truly believes that a ceasefire isn't the right thing to do.
Yeah.
Like, so I have to feel like there's other motivations going on there, but it's hard to know what those are when even Dick Durbin can say it. Like, I don't know what's stopping him. It's very weird.
Right? Because Secretary Blinken,
I'm now in the pocket of AIPAC.
Oh, there's Matt Binder.
If you remember,
disembodied voice.
Secretary Blinken called for a ceasefire in a tweet, but then deleted it because he got attacks from Republicans saying, "Oh, you side with Hamas." So he deleted it, and ever since that happened, everyone else is too scared. They don't want to. They don't want to be accused of siding with Hamas. And the people who are against the ceasefire, like Richie Torres, if you look at their language, they're talking about how that would empower Hamas. So nobody wants to be accused of empowering Hamas, and that's why they're saying humanitarian pause.
There's always going to be some lunatics that. There's always going to be a lunatic that makes some claim. Like,
right?
Bernie knows the masses understand what the
Richie
issue
Torres is right. The DSA, anti-Semitic organization.
Oh my god! And Fetterman has been so
my god,
like over the top, ridiculous.
I'm turning in my Democratic Socialist card. Bernie Sanders will no longer be a member of the DSA.
This voice is more effective because we can't see your face.
Yeah.
I was gonna say.
God, I saw so Fetterman was trying to get us to be nostalgic for the good old days when he would shit on Dr. Oz, but I saw it. My eyes just rolled on the back of my head with this shit. I'm over the body double stuff. I'm done. It's not cute. Okay. You pissed us off. You're a monster. You're a fucking monster.
He made a crudité joke this week. Really?
Is this really
really the time to make a crudité joke? Remind us of the good old days with Dr. Raleigh. Give me a break. It's so I want to say disappointing, but it's we knew his position was bad. I think I'm just surprised at how overtly he's aggressive. It's one thing to stay silent, which is also wrong. It's another to actively say the dumbest shit possible day in, day out about this issue.
Yeah. Shutting the fuck up is free. So if you know that you have a stance that is inflammatory, you don't have to say anything. It's cowardice. We'd still probably call you out. But the way that you go out of your way to poke the eyes of people who care about suffering Palestinians is so disgraceful. And there was an interview that he did with, there was a Jewish peace activist who confronted him. And this one, thankfully, didn't get manhandled by his goons. And he said something to the effect of oh, well, Israel should be able to do what it deserves to do. And it's what? Okay, first of all, you can just tell he does not know what he's talking about. He's out of his depth, but he just knows that he has to play the greatest hits. So he doesn't get, any political repercussions. AIPAC, DMFI don't come after him. That's all he's doing. But he doesn't know anything about this fucking conflict. Nothing. It's so ridiculous.
I have a few clips if y'all want to see.
Yeah, let's do it.
It's good to see. Here we go. MSNBC saying legit things.
And given these bombings are being done using our tax dollars, perhaps we should ask some questions. For example, how does bombing a densely populated land strip filled 50% with children constitute self-defense? How does bombing hospitals, churches, mosques, and UN schools constitute self-defense?
Hamas headquarters are inside all of them.
Well, you say if Hamas fighters are hiding in the hospital using the civilians as human shields, okay, let's say they are. Are you arguing that flattening the hospital and killing newborns in their incubators and their moms in the NICU, cancer patients, someone with a broken leg, the doctors, nurses, and just the women and kids hiding in the hospital, that's not a war crime? Because you would be wrong,
pretty good.
According to international law.
Really good stuff. Really good stuff.
Joy Reid. Okay, listen. Joy Reid has been a viewer of the Humanist Report. She's not a fan.
Not a fan? Wait. She's not a fan?
Did she give you a hate comment?
I found out years after the fact that she was tweeting about me and how purity testers like me don't understand what we're saying. It was something I found out years after somebody shared it. So I'm like, oh shit, she tweeted about me. She knows I'm criticizing her. So if you're watching Joy, phenomenal. You are everything you said there, amazing. Thank you.
This is biased. Let Fetterman talk. Play a clip of Fetterman. Play a clip of Fetterman.
Who's teaching him these things? Who's giving him control?
Yeah, I don't know.
No, how do you do that?
How did he do this?
I want to do
How
that.
did he know StreamYard so well? I need to really get in that because
No, this is it's some software Matt has that's separate.
You
from
want a
StreamYard.
ceasefire? This is my answer.
Matt.
You should call Bernie Sanders, Matt, as the Bernie Sanders voice. Be like, Bernie, this is you from the future. Please, you're gonna sorely regret what you're doing. I don't do it as good as you, but you know what I mean. You get the sentiment.
Matt, did you want to be like a stand-up comedian at one point in your life? I feel like that's what
I was doing comedy for a bit.
So look at that. Matt was doing comedy. See y'all, we find something new out every day.
I do want to share a bit of this.
No, don't play that either.
It's obviously like I'm not. It's 8 minutes long, so I won't play the whole thing. But the beginning it's really good.
This summer, I spent 10 days in Palestine, in the occupied territories, and in Israel proper. I've had the great luxury over the past 10 years of seeing a few countries. I have not spent more time or seen more of another country or another territory than I did this summer. I think what shocked me the most was in any sort of opinion piece or reported piece or whatever you want to call it that I've read about Israel and about the conflict with the Palestinians, there's a word that comes up all the time, and it is complexity. That and its closely related adjective, complicated. And so while I had my skepticisms and I had my suspicions of the Israeli government, of the occupation, what I expected was that I would find a situation in which it was hard to discern right from wrong. It was hard to understand the morality at play. It was hard to understand the conflict. And perhaps the most shocking thing was I immediately understood what was going on over there. Probably the best example I can think of is the second day when we went to Hebron, and the reality of the occupation became clear. We were driving out of East Jerusalem. I was with the Palestinian, with PalFest, and we were driving out of East Jerusalem into the West Bank, and you could see the settlements, and they would point out the settlements, and it suddenly dawned on me that I was in a region of the world where some people could vote and some people could not. And that was obviously very, very familiar to me. I got to Hebron, and we got out as a group of writers, and we were given a tour by a Palestinian guide. And we got to a certain street, and he said to us, I can't walk down this street. If you want to continue, you have to continue without me. And that was shocking to me. And we walked down the street, and we came back, and there was a market area. Hebron is very, very poor. It wasn't always very poor, but it is very, very poor. Its market area has been shut down. But there are a few vendors there that I wanted to support. And I was walking to try to get to the vendor, and I was stopped at a checkpoint. Checkpoints all through the city. Checkpoints obviously all through the West Bank. Your mobility is completely inhibited, and the mobility of the Palestinians is totally inhibited. And I was walking to the checkpoint, and an Israeli guard stepped out, probably about the age of my son. And he said to me, "What's your religion, bro?" And I said, "Well, I don't, I'm not really religious." And he said, "Come on, stop messing around. What is your religion?" I said, I'm not playing. I'm not really religious. And it became clear to me that unless I professed my religion and the right religion, I wasn't going to be allowed to walk forward. So he said, "Well, okay, so what was your parents' religion?" I said, "Well, they weren't that religious either." He says, what were your grandparents' religion?" And I said, "My grandmother was a Christian." And then he allowed me to pass. And it became very, very clear to me what was going on there. And I have to say, it was quite familiar. Again, I was in a territory where your mobility is inhibited, where your voting rights are inhibited, where your right to the water is inhibited, where your right to housing is inhibited, and it's all inhibited based on ethnicity. And that sounded extremely, extremely familiar to me. And so the most shocking thing about my time over there was how uncomplicated it actually is. Now, I'm not saying the details of it are not complicated. History is always complicated. Present events are always complicated. But the way this is reported in the Western media is as though one needs a PhD in Middle Eastern studies to understand the basic morality of holding a people in a situation in which they don't have basic rights, including the right that we treasure most, the franchise, the right to vote, and then declaring that state a democracy. It's actually not that hard to understand. It's actually quite familiar to those of us with a familiarity to African American history.
There you go.
Yeah, that was really, really good interview.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I like that you're hearing this a lot more, that it's not that complicated, because I think that there are people who want to make it seem complicated and will nuance troll to insert complexity into the situation that doesn't actually exist, but it is pretty simple. You have a group of people with no power, no state, no resources, who are being occupied, who are subject to brutal oppression and apartheid. And then you have another country that isn't just more powerful, but the fourth most powerful military on the planet, but they have the backing of the United States of America, of Europe, of many countries. So if you zoom out and you just look in, if you're an alien in this situation and you don't know anyone on Earth, just hearing these dynamics, seeing what's happening, it's very simple. This is oppression, this is apartheid, and it has to end. Period, full stop.
I feel like everyone's finally getting into what should have been completely obvious for many, many years. And I'm glad they're here now. But, the Palestinians don't have the time. Like I think I said, I don't remember where I said this, but like you look at the polls and it's very clear between millennials and Gen Z that the support, the unwavering support for anything Israel does, and the complete discounting of Palestinian lives is not going to be the case for long. 10, 20 years from now, what is Israel going to do when the U.S. is not going to be there for them? Because based on how people are being polled, that's what it seems to be. The unfortunate thing, though, is that the people of Gaza and the West Bank, they don't have that time.
I also want to hear from a single liberal or Democratic politician what the fucking end game is, because I still haven't heard that. I haven't heard anyone who's like, oh, and then after 42% of the homes are destroyed, as like that's right now, by the way, it's going to get way higher, but like 42% damaged or destroyed. What happens after? That's almost 1 million people's homes almost gone, with certain areas just like we've showed you before, the satellite footage, dust. Like there's nothing fucking there. What's happening after? Because all of them are just like Israel's right to defend itself, and you're like, okay, we're $14 billion, we're going to send it right away. But what happens next? What after they've defended themselves? And again, I'd like to know the body count as well. Like at what point is it considered defense? How many people have to die? And then where do we go? Because I've heard plans. I've heard that Institute. There's a think tank in Israel that said that part of it is to try and get Gazans, Palestinians there into Egypt, and they're trying to forgive like $30 billion worth of Egyptian debt in exchange for that, whereas Egypt is not agreeing to those terms. But like that's just forcible displacement of, again, millions of people. That's ethnic cleansing. That's what that is by definition.
Right. They want people to live in refugee camps in perpetuity.
Also, I want to say that there's been these videos going around of showing people with Hamas fighting the IDF soldiers that are there on the ground in their tanks. And I've been looking at what some experts have been saying about these videos, and it also seems like the IDF is very ill prepared for this. They're fighting in urban combat in an area they're not familiar with, unlike what the U.S. wanted us believing about Osama bin Laden having this whole secret evil fortress hidden in the mountains in Afghanistan. It does seem like over the past few decades, Hamas was able to build a very intricate tunnel system, at least, maybe not what Israel is claiming in terms of like crazy headquarters underground, but it seems like there are tunnels down there based on videos that they've let different outlets go down to see, that allows them to move around the area without being on the land, which will aid them in, surprise attacks, I assume. Like, what is the end game if they can't even, are they going to get involved in a 20-year war like we did in Afghanistan? Are we going to be funding Israel to do this for 20 years?
Yeah. Is this going to get bigger? Are other countries going to get involved? Are we going to get embroiled in another quagmire in the Middle East? Multiple countries fighting each other? Like, how far does it go?
Yemen already joined. That's not good.
Right. I mean, it's just, What was it? Was it on Thursday that the Houthi, or on Tuesday that the Houthi rebels declared war? Yeah. I mean, we don't know, and it's scary. And if you're the United States and you're saying we'll support you unequivocally, there's no red line, you're basically saying we'll follow you off the cliff. And they're going off the cliff. I mean, just politically speaking, put aside all the death and destruction, because that alone should be cause for you to do the right thing. But just if you're a self-interested politician who's seeking re-election, as Joe Biden is, I mean, the amount of support he's lost with the Arab community. What was it? I know that David Dole did a video about this where
down
he
to 17%.
17%.
17.
That's like how big was that drop? I don't remember what it was before, but it was
incredibly high.
Drop.
Incredibly high, and that's 255,000 registered voters in Michigan, and their support just dropped to 17%. It's one of the single biggest drops from a large contingency that they've ever seen.
Yeah, insane.
I'm not surprised. There's a lot of disappointment behind how he's been handling this. So I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised if we will see more. Like, people are not going to want to support him, especially from that type of community, because it's like he's not supporting or thinking about. There's from him just standing right beside Israel time and time and time again. We're constantly seeing, while we're seeing an uptick in anti-Semitism, people just going up to anybody who looks Middle Eastern and ready to attack them. I mean, like, come on. Like, people being anti-Muslim, people just if you look Middle East, they don't even know what you believe. They are just going to go off of prejudice, discrimination, because we need to support Israel. And they believe attacking people is support for Israel. So I think this was a big moment for him. And he could have did this differently. I mean, he could have had a support, I guess, for Israel, but just in speaking about what's really going on, sharing his thoughts, acknowledging what's really happening in Gaza, and not downplaying it, having more of a conversation that recognizes Gaza and the people of Palestine. Like, that would have been something I would have loved to see from him. But he's going to stick right beside his ally, and that's going to be Israel every single time. And he's going to do it with his feet in the ground every single time. So that was very disappointing to see. I thought at some point maybe he would say more and show a little bit more heart for all the kids we're losing, all the people we're losing, something. But that was the very disappointing.
He went to go do that, visit to Israel, giving Benjamin Netanyahu hugs and everything, when they had already made official policy, mass starvation of a civilian population. They stated that they're going to cut them off from all food, fuel, water, and medical supplies. That was the start. And that in itself is a war crime. That's collective punishment of a civilian population of half children. And then all of a sudden, that's when every single world leader in the West was like, we are, pledging our support to Israel's right to defend itself. We're going to be, sending military personnel. There's Canadian special ops right now in that region of the world, helping with training. There's also U.S. special ops as well. It's like our governments are complicit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, should we?
It's 10:30.
Yeah, should we pivot?
Yeah, we should pivot. Who wants to say it?
David doesn't want to be the one.
Everyone's waiting for me to say it again.
You guys are
It's just a very awkward transition.
Are so funny. That was really a hard transition. We could have went a little softer, but
there's no way to transition out of this topic.
Yeah.
Just,
no, they're really
right. What do you transition to? Like, really?
Yeah. It's tough.
I just feel like
I'm not collecting super chats, and I got to go edit the Surf Times, so I'm probably not going to stay this time. But best of happiness to you all, and much love.
Yes, much love always.
Have a good night.
Yeah.
Oh wait, you're leaving?
I am.
Well, it's the end of the stream.
Just saying goodbye. All right.
Yeah, I know what it is.
Tapping out early. All right.
Ceasefire.today.com, everyone.
Ceasefiretoday.com.
I'll post that link one more time in all of our chats. Please do one of those actions there.
Call, folks. It's super easy.
Yes. All right.
Stop being weird. You guys are
I'm leaving. This is too awkward.
Y'all know I'll be ready to go.
I got a migraine, so I've been thinking about my head.
David is recovering from being sick. I know everybody's asking, but he was sick. I know you didn't say that at the top of the show, but he was talking to us, and he's recovering from being sick. I know.
I didn't even shoot a video today because I'm like, I need some rest.
Yeah. But you made it.
But I came for this and never miss an episode almost.
I have. That's all right.
We've all missed at least one
today.
It's perfectly fine to miss episode. No one. It's all.
Yeah, we've all missed at least one. I'm shamelessly probably gonna take the Thursday off this year that has the Game Awards if it's on a Thursday night.
And then there's the
Game Awards.
There's
the
Game
Awards.
It's gonna be an episode.
Nerds.
Are you guys gonna do like a family? Well, if you don't celebrate,
maybe we will stream the Game Awards.
Yeah.
Well, they probably won't. They probably
competing streams. Actually, a lot of sites stream that shit. I think.
Oh, really? So let's do it then. Let's stream the Game Awards.
What awards is this?
It's for all the video games that came out this year.
Yeah, no,
and there's usually big announcements happening too.
Rebecca's like, what the fuck?
I'm like, what are y'all talking about? No, before I get out of here, Mike, you did on one of the episodes. I wasn't here, or no, it was the after because y'all be doing like after dark. Y'all be doing Leftist Mafia after
really
dark.
Yeah.
So and that's when Matt really gets turned up. Like I'll roll over and I'm like, Matt's still going. It's like 5 a.m. Why are you?
It was like
here?
4.5 hours last week. Like what?
Yeah, Energizer.
Well, people keep sending super chats, and it's my duty to read every single one of those.
I know.
I was reading ones to you, David, because you're even your viewers.
Even
your viewers deserve to have their super chats.
Oh,
read.
okay.
Just because you don't think they're worth your time doesn't mean I don't.
I need a sound drop for this. Someone like going like, I don't know. Oh, brother, something like that.
Yeah.
I have nothing. I got nothing.
I did everything right, and they indicted me.
That's David when I'm hassling him for leaving.
Yes, exactly. That's me. Did everything right,
and they indicted me.
Mike, you said that you liked K. Michelle. I was shocked about that. I was like, okay, you listened to K. Michelle, and so you said that you liked her latest project, right?
Her latest album was really good. Yeah.
So because she just dropped that recently. My favorite will always be was it Anybody Want a Heart? I think that's the one.
Wait, who are you talking about?
Her Head as the Flower.
Oh, I don't know if she's an R&B
something
singer.
Michelle, some Michelle.
K. Michelle.
Yeah, she's a really good R&B singer.
She's going full country now. But yeah, you mentioned her. You actually said it. You was talking to them, and I know they didn't know what you was talking about. So I came here to let you know that I knew who you were talking about, and I was like, okay, you know, K. Michelle.
I appreciate that. Okay, so I know that we have the same exact tastes. So. Are you enjoying the new City Girls album?
So I listened to a few. Of course, there is a song that, but JT's that has JT all over it. I don't know. I'm a city. That's where I'm from Florida. I'm from what we say the crib. So they're from Miami. I'm like up the street in Palm Beach. So that's where I'm from. So I gotta like City Girls. I feel like, but I am enjoying it. I feel like I see more artistry from JT. And I hope that she goes out on her own. So that's I like it. That's where my ratchetness stops. I'm from out there, so it's a level, but that's where it stops for me. I can't do Sexy Red. I can't do, but all the new kids are doing it. That's great.
I kind of like Sexy Red, even though she supports Trump. It hurts me. But
yeah, you know what I done got on this show.
Yeah,
I don't like her. Not that I don't like her. I think she's adorable, but you support Trump off of
it's
nothing.
Hard.
I feel like she's smarter than that. I just need her to really just But
the new City Girls I love so much because for those of you who are like
Trump apologists
my age, like if you're like our age, if you're a millennial and you grew up with like 2000s rap, like the City Girls sample drop of like It's Hot, International Players Anthem, and so it took me back to like my childhood. Like it reminds me of like Saweetie's first album where she had all these like old samples, and I was like, oh my god, I'm old because they're already remaking this shit, but it's so good.
Yeah,
and so that's like what City Girls did for me. It's just so good.
City Girls, I feel like they like with JT. She really has bars, but they are taking it where they can take the music and they have. I can listen to it like when I'm working out or when I'm getting ready to go out. You know, I like to listen to violent things or a little, you know, just some crazy things while I'm getting ready to go out. That doesn't mean I'm going to go out and do those things, but it does pump me up. You know, it does. So I like to listen to those things. But yeah, there's a couple of a couple of other albums that we'll discuss later on that. Because you know I'm not here for a long time, but I'm here for a good time. It is my time to get out of here. I love you guys so much. Matt's going to be here holding it down for you after
for the next 5 hours.
You already know what it is. And Mike be right there beside him sometimes. I'm like, Mike, go to bed, baby.
Mike's probably like, Binder, shut up, please. Let's get off.
Mike is being supportive. Mike is just there like really just, you know, you ever see there's like a video of two, there's a rapper. They're two white men. One is rapping and the other guy's behind him supporting, and they both have on Tupac shirts. Matt is the rapper and Mike is behind him like, I'm just gonna support my friend. That's what it is at like 5 a.m. I know Mike be tired, but he be right beside Matt.
The difference is he's West Coast, so it's a little easier for him to stay up.
That's what I was gonna say. That's also why I just figured that out. I'm like, yo. We get on at like 8:30 and he's like on at 6, right? Like 6:30.
If it were up to me, we get on here at like 6. Actually, no.
He starts at 5:30.
Because I can't see my son, so maybe not.
Well, and I work for the people. I work for the man. So I got to get off from that and then come on here and yeah. So I love you guys. I mean it. And I will see you guys next Thursday, right? Yeah, next Thursday.
Yes.
But I was saying for the holiday, because I know some people don't celebrate these.
Oh, right.
What you do with your family or whatever for that Thursday. So we probably won't be here on the 20th.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. All right.
Oh no, we're doing a Thanksgiving show. We're gonna step away from the table.
Matt,
and we're gonna
live from the turkey.
Excuse me, everybody, fam. I gotta do my
Carve
4-hour
camera.
I gotta do my 4-hour live stream.
Let me see your turkey. It'd be like, see, that's why we shouldn't be going live because everybody turkey ain't cute. Okay. All right.
Yeah, that's true.
You guys later. Bye, y'all.
You take care.
Listen, if my family has any problem with me doing the stream on Thanksgiving, then they'll gotta tell them, hey, how do you think we're paying for this turkey, right? It's the super chats, baby.
Well, here's the thing. There is no Thanksgiving on that date in this country. I will just do the show on all of your channels, and I'll take all of the super chats for myself. So how about
that? You really are going to do it?
No, I'm not working.
You would let me do it?
If I get a Thursday off, I'm taking it.
All right. Well, should we?
If it's news, we'll see. Yes, let's. Yeah, I'm telling you now. At some point during the stream, I'll be like, "All right, I'm going to read the rest of mine and leave."
I may have to do that too. Yeah, I don't have much stamina.
It'll be the Binder show for 3 hours.
Disrespectful. So disrespectful.
Get out.
I will try to support Binder. See, I do my best to go really quick through the super chats, and then we'll get to somebody who sends a question to Binder about wrestling, and I'm like, oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. What did you just do?
That's your cue to go make a sandwich and still,
I usually refill my water, go to the bathroom, and all that.
Well, as of right now, we only have 52 super chats in total. So we should be out of here.
That's enough.
Quickly.
Stop giving.
No, that should be. I mean, that really should be the message. That you're blocking my message here, folks. 52 super chats. We will be out of here quickly. If you want us to stick around,
if you want me to force me to read more, and I will read them. And actually, I'll read yours sooner because I'm going to leave sooner. So just send them to me. You'll get your question answered sooner.
That's a good strategy.
That's my strategy.
There you go.
If
Donald
you want
James.
a long, detailed answer from the heart,
I'm still gonna answer it. Well,
send it to
detailed.
me, because I'll be here giving you 20 minutes per super chat.
He will agonize over your question for 20 minutes.
Oh,
And if
I will
it's
just
about
move to the
wrestling-
next one while you're talking and then just read it. Donald James, thank you for being a member for 21 months. Back in the saddle, and I rejoined. Thank you so much, Donald.
J. Cass, the super chat. Binder coming in at the beginning, literally looking like Shaggy. All he needs now is Scooby-Doo in a conversion van. Oh, wait, I don't have the conversion van anymore. And I did look a bit frazzled, didn't I? Because I just got in the door when you saw me. I was 5 minutes late, walking in the door, 8:35, sandwich in hand that was sitting here for 2 hours before I started eating it.
Oh, that sucks. You should have just ate.
Nah, because I wanted to see what we were talking about, and the SBF thing just happened. It was important to talk about that, and that's like my cue. That's like my thing. And then, it worked out good when it did work, how it went. And also, I brought my kid came in. He had to pass him off to his mom so she could handle him and he could get ready for bed. So I was looking like a mess.
John Deere.
John Deere with a super chat. FBI raids home of NYC Mayor Eric Adams' chief fundraiser. Adams leaves White House trip in response. I saw that. Ole's having the time of her life right now over on Twitter. I mean, she might be one of the only people who dislikes Eric Adams more than I do. Horrible guy. Horrible mayor. Horrible person.
Mm-hmm.
We can't have him as mayor. He can only be a one-term mayor. I don't know.
Do you think this will lead to anything more serious where he?
I mean,
is implicated?
He is super corrupt. There's been things about him from well before he was mayor. He is so corrupt. I hope people look more into him and this stuff comes out because he is corrupt.
Tony Crump, $20 super chat. Let me find. I keep forgetting to update the applause. But there you go. Thank you. Says, can't wait for Trump to take the stand. He lies 24/7. Is that going to happen? I feel like since, October 7th, I have not really been following much of anything else.
Same.
Yeah.
So I'm like a little lost on whatever else is going on.
Mm-hmm.
It's been hard. It's been really hard to focus on anything else.
Yeah.
Same problem.
It's not healthy, but it's also,
the most important thing.
The most important thing,
right.
yes.
Yeah.
Late nights, even just trying to catch up with but that's the least thing to complain about in terms of I will gladly do this in terms of comparatively to what other people are going through right now.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Marissa with $19.99. My goodness, thank you so much. Love the cute doggy in the photo. It looks like a puppy. Love it. Thank you for your reporting on the Palestinian genocide. I'm a secular Jew, and I've been called a terrorist and anti-Semite for supporting Palestinians. I'm sorry about that. I felt so alone for years. Thank you for not making me feel so alone. Well, I really appreciate that. You're not alone. Sometimes the news can make us feel a little bit crazy, especially when you hear so much and you see so much attacks. And especially for the smears that you've been getting, it just is. It can make you just feel like you're alone and you're isolated, but you're not. But thank you. I'm glad that you're enjoying the reports.
I think a
really
lot of
appreciate
people.
it.
I think a lot of people felt that way, and it's why it's
absolutely.
so emotional. There was that video that went around from that Celtic FC soccer match last week. We played on the Majority Report last week, and we got a little bit emotional. And it's literally this whole crowd of. We should play it. Did we play it on this show? We didn't, did we?
No, I haven't seen this actually.
You have not seen it. It's and the reason I'm bringing it up is because the song they're singing is very, very relevant to how you feel. And I think we should play this. We're gonna get emotional.
Is it gonna make me cry?
It's a very.
I have a rule about crying on camera. I'll turn it off.
It's a very amazing moment, honestly.
Okay.
Hold on.
Although I'm on antidepressants, so me crying is very hard. So we'll see how touching this video really is.
I gotta find it. 1 second. I'm sorry.
You find it while I can go on the next one.
Yeah, I'm gonna run to the bathroom.
Mike or
really
me.
quick.
Okay.
There we go.
it's
You
not my
could
turn. Oh, you have it?
play this. Yeah.
Okay, I'll wait.
I'm dropping it in the thing for you.
Okay. I remember seeing this, but like it was while scrolling, but I didn't actually watch it. Let's bring this up.
Whenever I see like a sports field, I scroll past it, so I definitely did not see this.
Let me get this chat off the screen.
That's a a regular sort of football song, but it certainly had a much deeper meaning with those flags flying, and they knew that. It was
That's
an
really
amazing
cool.
moment.
It's amazing to see that many people together. like-
Wow. Yeah. That's wow.
And yeah, and the reason that made me think of that is because understanding this situation used to be a very lonely walk, I guess you could say. And I don't think that's the case anymore.
I agree. Yeah, this is the first time where I actually, despite all the devastation and carnage, it really feels like we're seeing a paradigm shift in real time, and it's happening really slowly, but it's happening. And I said this 2 years ago during the Sheikh Jarrah evictions, to see like members of Congress, AOC, Rashida Tlaib on the House floor saying this is apartheid. Like I was doing a Twitch stream watching those, and I'm like, listen, I know that you all are frustrated, but this is such a huge thing to have any politician on the floor say apartheid and condemn Israel. Like this is massive. And now 2 years later, it shifted even further. So things are changing. We're seeing a paradigm shift, and politicians aren't keeping up. But the public, I mean, look at the polls: 60% plus support a ceasefire. That's massive. Like it. Things are changing.
It's going in the right direction.
Yeah.
For one of you.
Oh, that's for me. Megastar with the super chat. Can I get some birthday wishes? Much love to all. Happy birthday, Megastar.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
How old are you now?
I'll be right back.
How old are you now? Okay, go ahead.
Is this for you?
This gotta be for me. Yeah, Kowalski with the super chat. Crypto, NFTs, and essential oil scams. Corn real as fuck. Kowalski with the resident farmer with the regular farmer joke.
Ezekiel Osiris, quit being scared and debate the tanky mafia.
I would love to debate anybody. Is there a tanky
Who's
mafia? Because I would.
I think this is a joke.
Yeah, I'm certainly not scared.
Archangel, $10 super chat. Thank you. Says David, have you heard to the leaked docs thinking that U.S. troops would be an occupational force in Gaza after Israel does whatever they were trying to do? Have you heard in leaked docs? I haven't heard of this. Have you heard anything about this? About U.S. troops being an occupational force in Gaza
I've heard
Israel?
that this was a thing being discussed. I don't know how far it went, but it was in one of those reports as something that was discussed.
I mean, I guess I wouldn't be surprised. At the same time, there's governments do this thing where they go through every case, like every possible scenario of everything they could could do in certain situations. That doesn't mean they would do it, but it's like this is what we're capable of doing. Just as kind of like contingencies or an understanding of their capabilities. It doesn't necessarily mean they're going to do that. But of course that would be insane.
Mm-hmm. Pendulous Dragon with a super chat. Wakey, Matt. You look tired.
Yeah, Matt. Why are you so tired?
This has been a long week. Halloween was on a Tuesday. I had to take my kids out, obviously. So I didn't do my usual Tuesday stream, and then Wednesday rolled around, and my son had soccer practice. His team made the playoffs, so we got that. We're working on. Playoff game is on Saturday. I am assistant coach. I think I've mentioned on this show before. So it's been very busy here this week.
So your team made the playoffs, is what you're trying to say.
My team made the playoffs, yeah. I mean, I'm very proud of.
Nice.
Good job.
This is the first time in this team's been playing together. Well, my son joined 3 seasons ago. Apparently, they were playing 2 seasons before that because he's in 3rd grade right now. There's not enough 3rd graders for there to be a 3rd grade team. So the 3rd graders that want to play have to play on the 4th grade team. This is apparently in the 2 years that they've been together, the first time they made the playoffs. It's also the season that I joined as assistant coach.
Coincidence?
Wow.
So
there you go.
I'm going to take full credit.
Absolutely.
Those kids would be nothing without me.
You working?
No,
for the
they
ball.
were all those kids. All of them have been. This has been they've really stepped it up. It's looking forward to seeing how Saturday goes. I think just making it this season was a win.
Nice.
Very cool. Ezekiel again, $2. Thank you.
This
Trotsky
person
did nothing wrong. Okay, thank you, Ezekiel.
This person always sends rage chats.
Yeah, all the caps.
Yeah, I think this was me. Yeah, so Prairie Fire, Kowalski, $1.99. If we can afford tax cuts, we can afford higher pay. Yes, absolutely.
Pluvius, the super chat. Here's how you can tell the state of the world. Leftist Mafia opens with the fun half because the news is so screwed. You need to start at a high point. This is the first time in.
That's a good point.
This is the first time since the beginning of October that we started on something that wasn't this.
Yeah, that's true.
It wasn't even
It's been a dark
intentional. It was
couple
just
weeks.
like, yeah. But it is probably the best way to do it because once you get to the serious stuff, it's hard to go back to the fun stuff.
Right. We also got lucky that the SBF thing happened just as we went live, pretty much. Helped us still cover breaking news without seeming like we were just avoiding talking about other things.
Yeah. The Matt Mercy, $2. Thank you so much. UAW is organizing for a potential general strike. I would love to see that. That is something that needs to be done. And after we've seen what happened with the UAW, they're the ones who could pull it off. I have a lot of faith in Sean Fain. Honestly, I think he should get into politics. I think he's amazing. I hope so.
Mm-hmm. Snack Panther, thank you for your super chat. Says, gotta love Leftist Mafia where mental patients like Ezekiel Osiris can post super chats about his imaginary friends. Yes, all super chats are welcome here, regardless of how imaginary your friends may be.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to call me a shit lib or a dipshit or something and spend money doing that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
For me as well. Kowalski, thank you for your chat. Says, been farming full time since I was 14. I'm 30 now.
Wow.
I mean, you doing what you love, I guess.
We'll be reporting your parents for child labor, Kowalski.
Also says, got a bachelor's in agribusiness and a minor in physics.
Wow, that's pretty impressive.
That's why he's so smart. Makes total sense.
Good on you.
Foresto.
If it's for me, Foresto with a super chat. I had a friend who worked in a mud bath and she found our people regularly relieve themselves in the mud. Also, they don't clean it very often. Where is this in reference to? Did you guys?
I have no idea.
I think it's just talking about like jobs that people had.
Maybe that's jobs, right? I was about to say, what is going on here?
Man, I mean, I guess they figure they can hide it. It's mud, right? Who's gonna know?
Thank you, Lonnie, for the nice comment. It's not a super chat, but it's a really nice comment from Lonnie. He says, "Thank you, gentlemen, for all that you do to keep us informed and awake." Thank you very much. Really appreciate you saying that.
Another one from Foresto.
This is for me. Foresto. I worked at an ice cream parlor that was infested by cockroaches. I complained to the owner, and he said it's cockroach season, so nothing much he could do.
Cockroach.
That's great.
Oh, that's amazing.
Well, it's cockroach
season.
Wow.
That's a great. That's like a great excuse.
That's
I'm
genuinely
gonna start
hilarious.
saying that. It's for whatever it is.
season.
Cockroach season.
Yeah.
This is for
Not
me.
for me.
Jay Cass, thank you for your chat. Says I work for a major bank. What's WF? In
Wells
the thickness, Wells Fargo. In the thickness of when they scam the hell out of customers.
You know,
I mean,
that
I'm
bank.
Canadian, so I'm like trying to think. We don't have many banks here. When they scam the hell out of customers. Oh man, all that tea I could spill during that time. Oh man, I'm sure a lot of tea to spill there.
Matt Mercy with a super chat. You ever tell people to bite your shiny metal ass? I have no idea what this is in reference to either.
So
You're into metal. Maybe that's what that's about.
I'm not though. I mean, some metal's okay, but I'm much
not
more known for being into punk than metal.
That's right. It's all the same to me.
Slappy Wag, $1.99. Growing my beard like that beautiful man, Mike. Oh well, thank you. You're too kind. I'm blushing. I appreciate
I'm
it.
so it is very angering.
It is
to come
impressive.
on the show and be on this show with you, with this full thick beard. It's really you disgust me.
How do you sleep on your face or on your back? I guess you don't sleep on your face.
I usually sleep on my side.
Okay.
Yeah, with a dog. So if the dog is depending on which side I'm sleeping, my dog, she'll put her head like under my beard and it'll all go to one side when I wake up. So yeah.
He sleeps like those balancing things. The beard holds up the entire body. His beard touches the pillow, and the rest of him is just like going. His body doesn't touch the bed. It's just his beard.
Because the one thing I noticed, like when you first like actually grow your beard out, it's hard to sleep. I mean, I sleep on my stomach, so like my face is usually always touching the pillow, and it's really uncomfortable at first. So I'm wondering, like, having a beard that large, if it would be uncomfortable to have it like on the pillow.
Do you stop it from growing more, or is that pretty much the cutoff right there naturally?
This is probably longer than it needs to be. Like I'd probably trim like an inch.
But could
inch and a half.
it grow longer?
Oh yeah, it could grow. Yeah, really long.
I can't get much longer than what it's at now. It's a struggle.
But it just stops.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I'm sure it keeps going.
I mean, probably it'll take
How does
a
it know to
long
stop?
time. Yeah. I've always had a problem growing a long beard. I can't do it.
Oh really? Yeah, because I mean this sucker could grow down to my toes if I let it.
Jay
So this is from Jay Cass, $5. Thank you, Jay. Also, during the pandemic, I lost my original job and had to settle for a grocery warehouse job. 12 to 14-hour shifts, 6 days, sometimes 7-day work week. That is torture. That is, yeah, I've been there before. Not like 6 or 7 days a week with the 14 hours, but like I've been there and it is miserable. I remember during the last days of Blockbuster when we had like no staff. It depends on how you're doing it, right? Like, so I was salaried and I did 2 17-hour days in a row. I was just open to close. Did then like 2 12s after that. But then I did get like 2 days off. But like to do that and have just go straight through.
Yeah,
no, that's not
insane.
good. Yeah.
No.
Trent with a super chat. Matt Bulbies.
Matt Bulbies. All right, guys, I'm gonna run through mine.
Alrighty.
I don't got too many here. Well, we'll see. Emma, thank you for your super chat. I just want to thank you for your coverage of the situation in Gaza. Israel's actions and response from world leaders has me really depressed. Watching your coverage at least makes me feel less crazy. Thank you. I will say, like, covering this topic, it again, understanding the situation, like, we have it a lot better than the vast majority of people. But I'm just saying, like, mentally, like, covering it, it's definitely draining. So it helps to know that people like you out there are getting something from it and are appreciating it. And yeah, thank you, Emma. Mr. Rabbit, oh my God.
Wow.
I don't have a big enough applause for this one. $50 super chat. We'll do the full applause.
My goodness.
I missed that. Fantastic. Says, hey guys, thank you for being a solace tonight. I had a death in the family today, so I'm still processing things, but I still tuned in because I enjoy your streams that much. Please reach out to your families. Memento mori, peace and love to all. Thank you so much, Mr. Rabbit. I'm really sorry to hear about that. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's tough times for, for the news, but also, going through what you're going through right now in your life. So we appreciate you coming to us. So thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Take some time for yourself and don't be hard on yourself. Take some time to be a little bit selfish. You're going to go through a bunch of different feelings. It's going to be a roller coaster. Don't ask yourself, am I grieving correctly? Am I processing this correctly? Everything you're feeling is normal. It just, when somebody passes away, the analogy that I heard that helped me with my dad passing away was that so think of pain in like a box and there's a button and a really big ball that bounces around and it presses the button. Whenever it presses the button, you feel pain. But as time goes on, that ball shrinks and it doesn't hit the pain button as much as it bounces around. That really helped me to kind of understand, because it would be I'd be fine. And then one day I'd just be miserable the whole day, just grieving. So everything is normal. It's tough, but you'll be okay. Just spend time with other people as well.
Yeah. Also, it's perfectly okay to not follow news. I don't know.
Absolutely.
If I'm going through serious shit in my life, I'm like, you know what? Then again, it's my job. It's a different situation. But unless it helps you, right? I guess if it helps you, then whatever. But do whatever can comfort you right now.
Yeah, spoil yourself a little bit too. Watch some silly movies, play video games. Just do everything you can that makes you feel better. There's no wrong answer here. Just do what makes you feel the best, and that's what's important right now.
Archangel, thank you for your super chat. Says, Rebecca, I'm sorry you had this experience. I want to send this to you, but I can't on your channel. Her work experience. Yeah. That was some crazy ass shit. There are some crazy people that work in TV, let me tell you.
How dare they be mean to Rebecca? She's such a sweetheart.
Let me find this next one. The Matt Mercy. I wish we could separate these by person. It'd be so much easier.
Yeah.
Find them. Here we go. Matt Mercy, thank you. Says, F the haters, left is best, and free Palestine. Agreed.
Cheers.
Snack Panther just called my rep from California 44. Want peace in Gaza. Awesome.
Nice.
I'm glad people were moved to call their own representatives over that.
Yeah, that's what we wanted, Yeah. It wasn't really about us calling.
Yeah. Mangtang, thank you. Says, thanks for your recent content, even though it makes me cry, angry / frustration tears, fifis of solidarity that we don't often get in shitlib world. Thank you. Glad you appreciate it. Sorry, guys. Just trying to find... Oh. Did I miss somebody? I did miss somebody. Justin, $20 super chat. Thank you so much. Says, I assume that this means I have a Jewish coworker, pro-Israel. Says it is a great place that demonize Palestinians as animals. Never knew this side of him, as he's very kind. I'm not Jewish nor Muslim, but I want to speak up. How would y'all handle this? You're not going to change his mind. Honestly, I don't have a good answer for that. There are some situations where, like, the person you're talking to, I imagine, has no political power. It's not necessary for you to have that conversation with them, because I can almost guarantee you that you alone are not going to change that person's mind. They clearly had a certain upbringing with a certain perspective. It's ingrained in them. It's going to be, I imagine, tough to kind of change how they feel about this. Anyone else know how you would approach this?
I'd handle it, but I can't give you that advice because I don't want to be held responsible for. No, I mean, what can you do? What can you do? I mean, first of all, it has nothing to do with him being Jewish. I mean,
right?
You know, is he Israeli? Is he from Israel? I have no idea how old is he too? Like, there's a lot of different factors here that come into play. Is he a 60-year-old dude? Is he a 20-year-old dude? I have no idea.
Yeah, you don't really have, you know,
convert to Islam right there in front of him, right on the spot.
Well, I don't know. You don't have to. Again, it depends what the job is, who the person is. But I feel like you don't have to engage in these conversations with your coworkers if it's not necessary.
Yeah, as somebody who's gone into multiple political debates with my coworkers, none of them were fruitful. Honestly, it was a waste of time. If I'm being honest, you know,
you can plant seeds, but you know, but
yeah.
When someone said, like, it sounds like he's not. It sounds like he's very strict in his thinking here. So
yeah, they're hard in their stance.
Yeah.
If you're calling Palestinians animals, you're not going to get through to that person. They're not going to change unless they have an open mind. And to call another human being an animal, that tells me your mind is completely closed. So the best you can do is, I think, plant seeds, like David said. How you do that, I'm not really sure. It really depends on the person and how much they're able to pick up, like, subtle cues, right? But yeah, that's a tough situation, and it's really uncomfortable when you have a coworker who's a bigot like that, you know?
Mm-hmm.
The first thing I would do would be to go to work tomorrow and immediately greet him with Assalamu alaikum. See what he does.
You can't even get it out.
I mean, I don't even know. Like, the fact that, like, listen, like, if you had not said the demonized Palestinians as animals thing, then it would have just been like, what can you do? I wouldn't get in that conversation. You know, it's someone's feeling, but the guy is to do that is it's worth mocking. Honestly, that
it
part
might be
of it
too far
certainly
gone.
worth
Yeah.
mocking. Yes, that's like. I don't even know what to say to that. Like, I think that I would have said otherwise.
It's so
just
far
forget
gone.
it. Let the guy be. But honestly, you know, I probably would say something to that one.
I know that I would end up saying something and regretting it, and it would go nowhere. It's hard.
That's the thing. Like, yeah,
there's no perfect answer.
I know, like, knowing myself, I know I definitely would have responded to him saying that, like, in the moment. Coming back a day later and bringing it up again, I don't know if that's really. It's like too late by that point. You have to do it in the moment then.
Sit in his chair and see what he says. It took you all a second there to.
I knew what you were saying. I was thinking, hey, maybe that would work because you're showing him a real world example.
Move your things to his desk and see how he feels.
This is mine now. And then just be like, see, and then point to a map. I don't know.
I mean, these are all jokes, but obviously, I would ignore them. I mean, that second part, I think that's reportable. It's one thing for the guy to be pro-Israel and for you guys to talk politics, and maybe he says something that bothers you in terms of just him being supportive of Israel, but that you just let go. That's just, people have opinions. But that second part about Palestinians demonize, I think that's reportable. Do you work with Palestinians? Do you work with any Arabs? Do you work with any Muslims? I mean, I would report the guy strictly based on that second thing. Not if that didn't happen, I would have said ignore it.
Yeah, because I mean, if he said that gays are animals, you could probably take that to HR and report him for that. So I feel like something like this, that's not just textbook bigotry. That's dehumanization, and it's
It also depends on who your boss is, right? And, like, you know,
because they
a
could
lot
agree.
of people. We're seeing a lot of people lose their jobs because they're fighting for Palestinian rights. Like so, it's Snack Panther. Thank you for your chat again. Says this made me laugh. Tell Schumer his cousin is tripping.
Yeah, she's going fucking wild on Instagram.
That would have been really funny. Hey, Senator Schumer, it's a pleasure to talk with you. I just wanted to say that your cousin is tripping. What is going on with Amy? Dude, you got to call a ceasefire on her posting to Instagram. I mean, this is insane.
Start with that ceasefire, then work your way up. Oh my God. Snack Panther again. Very generous super chatter. Remember, Ta-Nehisi Coates' books are banned in the U.S. by right-wingers. Not perfect, but he's really smart. Yeah, I guess in some of those states, right, where they're banning those books.
Yeah,
that's wild. Just like, I still can't believe that happened. It's just so, it's so obvious cancel culture that they're so worried about.
Yep.
Oh, sorry, that's one of yours. I'm almost done. Gonna get off. Cosmere Dragon. Thank you for your very generous chat, Dragon. Can we encourage Rashida Tlaib and other progressives to endorse and platform Marianne Williamson if Biden continues to not push for a ceasefire? Williamson is on the correct side of this issue.
What's the beef with Williamson? I haven't watched the interview yet, but I heard that Ole interviewed Marianne Williamson, and there's been some sort of drama behind that.
I haven't been able to see it. Yeah, I'll watch it.
Attacking Ole for how she conducted the interview or something.
It sounded like because she asked like good questions.
Oh, of course. I want to make it clear that I don't mean that like Ole.
No, but I think
but
I think that's why I think it's manufactured. It sounds like it's manufactured anger. Like it's from Marianne supporters who are angry that she didn't just like fully throw like support her.
So it's not from Marianne Williamson. Do we know that?
I don't know for sure, but it doesn't sound like it to me. It sounds like it's more from her supporters.
If you're mad that Ole is asking a politician tough questions, that's not something to be mad about. She has to hold somebody running for president's feet to the fire. I got a lot of shit when I interviewed Andrew Yang. And who else? I interviewed some other presidential candidate. I don't remember. You're going to get shit. But if you have the opportunity, you've got to.
It's really been a contender for you to not remember.
I can't remember, honestly. It was God. What's the Green Party 2020? I don't remember his name. No, 2020.
No, it was the other guy.
Howie.
Howie Hawkins.
Howie Hawkins. Yeah. I asked him questions about allegations from other Green Party members that he had rigged the Green Party primary. Like I didn't phrase it that way, but yeah, I got some shit for that. You're gonna get shit, but Ole is very smart. And she's not going to miss an opportunity to talk to someone with a lot of influence and hold their feet to the fire. That's what you've got to do. That's what we have to do. We have a responsibility. So,
to this question though, what do you guys? I wish there was a better candidate.
I don't think that's the answer. I'm sorry.
No, I wish there was a better candidate. Like, it's just I don't know.
I mean, this is what I say. I think the pressure needs to be put on Biden right now. Everyone needs to come out and say they are not going to vote for him in order to push him to solve this. You could end up voting for him if you want in November 2024, but we are a year out now. You need to say you are not voting for him. There needs to be such a large number of people saying that they are no longer going to support him or vote for him. Whether they are going to or not a year down the road, I don't give a shit. But right now, there needs to be such a turnaround when it comes to how many people are declaring their support for him that they are forced to change their position on what's going on.
Be careful, and we have seen you might get accused of endorsing Trump. Like
listen, like I said, you can do whatever you want in November. I don't care. November 2024. We're a year out. Use your vote right now to get what you want. I mean, that's the whole point, right?
We have seen that from polling from Arab Americans. Like their support is now down. What, 17% from like over 50?
Across the board.
Yeah, it needs to be across the board, yes.
This needs to be such a poisonous position that they shit their pants and immediately turn around on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The piece I was reading though was connecting that lower support from Arab Americans to like him. He would lose Michigan. He could potentially lose. There were two other. I think
Pennsylvania is one of them.
Was it Pennsylvania? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Georgia even has like a contingent of voters there that would hurt him. So it's hopefully that's like, again, the first step. But if that continues, there's going to have to be a shift in how he conducts himself. Because again, clearly they don't care about people, human life. So you have to hurt them where it matters, and that's you may lose your seat.
They probably think this is going to blow over.
Yeah.
I mean, we have to see what happens. But the way Israel's conducting itself doesn't seem like this is going to be a blowover issue. I mean, it already isn't, with nearly 10,000 innocent civilians dead. But I think they think that, like, Americans, it's a international affair, foreign war. They'll get sick of it soon, and they'll get tired of it, and they'll tune out, and they won't care anymore. Look how no one really pays attention to Ukraine and Russia anymore. And that's not what's going to happen this time. This is not like anything we've seen before, at least in modern, at least 3 generations of people in this country have never experienced anything like what we're seeing right now.
And young people are going to be even more turned off by this as well, because they also are much more sympathetic towards Palestinians in general. And when you combine that with how he's fucking up when it comes to like other issues, student debt cancellation, for example, he just announced his new plan. It is dog shit. And if you said after the Supreme Court struck down your last cancellation plan that you're going to use the Higher Education Act to still continue this, and you don't, I promise you people are going to be fucking pissed off, because this is an issue that people care about.
Like, what's the last time the world has experienced something like this? Was it Vietnam, right? I mean, so the boomers had this experience, but we got Gen X, millennials, and Gen Z who've never seen something like this. I mean, this isn't even close to what the U.S. did in Iraq and Afghanistan. I mean, that was a lot of deaths, but it was over a long, sustained period. This is easily going to outdo this if it came anywhere. Not even close. It doesn't need to.
Yeah,
I think someone actually pulled up the numbers that this is all like what's going on right now in Gaza has already resulted in more casualties than the same amount of time in Iraq, like by a lot. Like it's a large discrepancy.
It's more injured than Ukraine, right?
Yes, I think they say that Russia is responsible for 500 child deaths. This is Israel is what, 3,000, 4,000? I think that's the last count.
Mm-hmm.
And that's over a year and a half now for Russia. This is less than a month for Israel.
Monstrous.
Anyways, a quick turn here. Jay Cass, on a lighter note, when's the LM group orgy happen? What a terrible super chat to follow up.
I don't think that's going to happen,
we were planning that for our Saudi show. Remember?
All of us are married or in relationships, and we're also like.
Oh yes, that's the reason why it's not happening. Otherwise, it would have happened. So
I also said we're like siblings to each other, so that's just weird.
You should have led with that one.
Yeah. We would, but
we'll save it for the Dagestan show.
There we go. Yeah.
Jesus. That one guy. Thank you for your chat. Says, can you bros please talk shit about Pudding's DeSantis?
DeSantis, yeah. We both did videos on that. I watched David's after I put up mine.
It was my levity for the week. Yes, yeah. I don't know what else there is to say. Yeah, he's definitely pretending he's taller than he actually is. The issue with that isn't that he is short. The issue with that is that he is fake. That people understand. It'd be fine if he wasn't wearing those and he was just normal, but he's got to be fucking weird. So
yeah. DeSantis is an easy target to make fun of, so we do.
Yeah. Love always wins. $10 super chat. Thank you. Says, what do y'all think about Cenk running for president? We talked about this when he launched.
We were big fans, big supporters. We thought it was a great idea.
Yeah, we gave him all our money. So.
In fact, that's where our super chat money is going. We're actually not keeping it for the next couple of months. All of our money is being donated directly to Cenk 2024.
He's joking, by the way, guys. Like, we
don't
assume
support
people
it.
watch,
Don't give your money to it.
we
It is
assume people
pointless. It is a waste
know
of
who
time.
we are, but they just come to this chat. They're like, "Oh, they are doing that? Wow,
it's a waste of time. Don't
he
spend
was
a dime."
I think he was rejected. I think on one of the like a newer ballot. I think it was like New Hampshire or something, and he's going to try and like fight it. Like
I like why Nevada turned him down, because not even because of him being ineligible, is because he crossed out the citizen, the natural born citizen part, and like, and they're like, you can't do that. This we got to throw this away now.
It's a very jank thing to do. Couple last things. Or
Oh wait,
did
Jenk cancel it?
Did he cancel it?
Someone said he
he's still
withdrew.
running.
What? He's still running? Okay.
No, I'm pretty sure he's still running.
Who said he withdrew?
Someone
in the chat.
What do I know?
Oh, I don't know. Matt Mercy, bite my shiny metal ass. That's Bender from Futurama. Ah, Bender. That's why.
I was never a
did that.
Futurama fan. I never really watched Futurama.
Okay,
it's pretty good.
I'm more of a Bob's Burgers guy.
It's because of Sam.
I don't like the health inspector in that show.
I actually didn't watch Bob's Burger when I worked there. I became a fan of it after.
That's funny.
Are we still just reading David's
Yeah,
chats?
sorry guys. This is the last two. Pluvius, thank you. Mike puts a pomade in his beard and then blow dries it so it works like a kickstand.
True.
Oh, there you go. I got one more. That one guy says, "Hey bros, do you like Governor?" Wait, we did that already. Did I do that already?
Different one.
This is a different one?
Same subject, yeah.
Oh, it is. It's a different. Wait. It's the same guy though. He did the same two different chats, the same question.
Yeah.
Yes. They're fantastic.
Love
All right.
his heels, Slay Queen.
That took way longer than I thought it would. All right. Good night, everybody.
Take care, David.
See you next week.
Peace.
All right, I kept the place.
You
I
did.
believe.
Smart. I don't know where I am.
So this, I believe, is you.
Oh yeah, I think that is. Foresto, I once got fired for skipping work to take my wife to the ER. The owner said I wouldn't miss work to take my husband to the ER unless he was dying. Jesus Christ. You should have been happy that you got fired. Oh, excuse me, I'm fixing my pants. I was giving myself a wedgie. I would be happy to get fired from a place like that, because I certainly would not want to work there. I know, obviously, times could be tough, and you might not have the money to be able to just do that. But I don't know, that might be a line that'd be the line that would be crossed for me. I would just figure it out from there. Honestly, I gotta sneeze. Give me a second.
Yeah, go ahead. I'll go to the next one because this one is from me. Bless you, from 0PE 499. Thank you, 0PE. Can y'all please have the Party for Socialism and Liberation U.S. presidential candidate for 2024, Claudia de la Cruz, on to discuss her platform? I would personally be down for that. I don't know about you all, but I think that'd be cool. I'm down to talk to anyone.
Yeah.
I think this one's for you now.
0PE. I hear the Free Palestine rally march on November 4th in D.C. is supposed to be pretty large. I look forward to any of y'all's coverage. Yes, I heard I won't be able to make it on the 4th. I have a strict rule that I will never skip or miss anything of my kids, and it's the big playoff game, and it's also my responsibility as coach of the team. So I unfortunately can't make it down there. But it will absolutely have my support. It will definitely be covered. But on my stream in the following days, and I'm sure I'll be tweeting and posting as much about it as possible.
Oh yeah, I'll be retweeting the hell out of the clips. I'm not going to be there, but I'm going to show my support and solidarity for sure. Hope the turnout is good. Ignar Husky with $10. Thank you, Ignar. Mike, my rep is Lori DeReamer as a MAGA chudball Republican in Oregon 5. Almost had Jamie McLeod Skinner, but Clackamas County sucks. Yeah, that was a disappointment. Doubt she'd change. Gonna call Merkley or Wyden. I might try them. Yeah, I would try both. Merkley would probably be more receptive because he's generally more progressive, but Wyden is also a possibility. So I think I would recommend calling them both personally.
Sideburned with a $10 super chat. Thank you. I honestly think the U.S. and Israel were not ready for these massive protests and for countries in the global south to start recalling ambassadors and severing diplomatic ties. And it's going to get bigger. It's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger because it's going to get worse and worse and worse over there.
Right.
You have the UN now coming out and saying that it is officially, I know there's a lot of people debating whether it's really genocide, but you have the UN right now coming out saying that it is now officially on the brink of a genocidal situation. It will officially, according to the UN, be a genocide very soon if the situation doesn't change.
Yeah. I think this is you.
Archangel, this may be me being ignorant about women with nails, but Rebecca, how do you function with the claws I see? Those look quite aggressive. LOL. I wish she was here for her to scratch your eyes out with those nails, because I'm sure that's not a polite way to put it.
Yeah, my mom has really long nails. She doesn't have them as long, but she doesn't seem to have a problem. I think that it's probably pretty easy. I think they look amazing. So yeah, I don't think it might look more difficult to function than it is, but I think it's probably fine. At least based on my mom, she doesn't have a problem with it.
I actually think the hardest thing is probably typing on your phone, right? It's got to be.
Well, the way my mom does it is she, because you're using this part of your thumb, not necessarily this, so if you're tapping, not necessarily, but I don't know. I don't have nails, but they look fucking amazing. I love them.
Wow, Mike doesn't even have nails at all. I
bite them all down too.
Oh, really? One of those? I can't do that.
I'm one of those.
No.
Yeah.
No, that's no, thank you. Can't do that.
I'm a big nail biter. Unfortunately, it's a bad habit. Former Future Goblin, $20. My goodness, thank you so much. That is a very, very generous super chat. Thank you for helping make activism more accessible for autistics like me with phone call paralysis. Oh, no problem. Having an example to imitate helps get past that mental block, and your beard makes you the prettiest. Don't be shy. Thank you so much. Yeah, honestly, I've seen the comment before. I used to make calls on my show all the time, and I always see a lot of people saying, okay, I'm so glad that you did that because now I don't feel as intimidated by doing that. And yeah, it's honestly, if you call and you stutter or you trip over your words and you're a little bit nervous, they're not even going to notice that. I promise you. We're much more judgmental of ourselves than other people are of us, right? So don't even sweat it. It's not a big deal. Just call and try to get the point across the best that you can. Follow up from Archangel.
Oh, Archangel says, just to be clear, nail job she got is very cool. Okay.
Yeah.
You're fine. I was joking.
Yeah.
I'm sure you would have been fine.
Yeah, I think they're objectively cool. So there's no way to deny their amazingness. Shadow of Lugia, 1999. Thank you so much. That's 2 really big super chats in a row. Thank you. Mike, I remember that you would often make calls right in your segments. Yeah, back in the early years of Trump. It was so good to see you do it again. Thanks for setting a good example, and the rest of the group too. Hey, I'm glad that you enjoy it. It's like the easiest, laziest form of activism that you could possibly do. Like it's so easy, so there's no reason to not do it. And if enough people do it, you could have a big impact. So I'm glad to do that.
Wanda with a $20 super chat. Thank you, Wanda. Last call. Crucial Ohio election abortion referendum next Tuesday, November 7th, and critical Virginia election where all state offices up for re-election. Abortion rights on the line if Republicans take state house. Go vote if you live, I'm guessing there.
Yeah.
Also, if you're alive, go vote. No, seriously, don't drop the ball with these local elections. This is big. These very much do matter. And please, Ohio, Virginia, go out and vote next Tuesday. We are five days away from that election. Please.
Jeez, that's coming up. Oh my God, this year's gone by fast. Meng Tang with $5. Nice to see you, Meng Tang. Compliment intro on the call was my first thought too. What the hell type of compliments? Do you give to James Comer though? That is a tough one. I would say something like you like his hair or his toupee or something. No, that will sound like snarky. You can hope you're having a nice day. Start with that. I think that's very neutral. Can't go wrong there. That would be my advice.
Mang Tang with a super chat for me now. Sure do love your techie nerdy ass, Binder. Why, thank you. Been very cathartic to watch your live streams and on MR throughout this nightmare. Thanks for being you. I appreciate that, and thank you for being you.
Very sweet.
And complimenting me. keep being the type of person that gives me compliments.
Wanda with $4.99. Thank you, Wanda. Great leadership on constituent advocacy tonight. Love to Leftist Mafia. Wanda, thank you so much. Love to you as well. We love Wanda. Kowalski, thank you so much. $1.99 made my yearly tweet today. Thanks for following me. Absolutely. I didn't see your tweet, but if I see it, I will absolutely like it. Infinite content, Mike, or thank you for the $5, by the way, first of all. Mike, you see that Bolivia cut diplomatic ties with Israel. I think Ireland, Colombia, South Africa, and Venezuela will as well. Yeah, I also saw that Lula, actually a super chatter, said this last week, I want to say. Lula has denounced Israel. It makes so much sense that Latin American countries are taking this stance after they have been the victims of U.S. foreign policy as well. So this is not surprising to me. It is so nice to see it, though. Let's see.
I will say, the global South has been very good on this historically on these issues. Period, not just in Palestine. The new moral center, honestly.
Yeah.
And in America, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank God. Lydia Rose, $4.99. Fetterman, I'm a trans vet progressive and I'm thinking seriously of running against him. That would be amazing. If you are able to, and you if you know your community and stuff, well, it's a statewide race, so that isn't as relevant. But if you have the stamina to do that, that would be fucking amazing. So yeah, think it over. It's going to be draining and exhausting, but that would be awesome. You've got some time to think about it. He's not up until 2028, I believe, right? 2028.
So, yeah, you have him for a while. Yeah.
Yeah. But if you were to run against him, that would be awesome. Hell yeah.
What a disappointment. What a big
I know.
Listen, it's not so much that he's just obviously very pro-Israel. I mean, there's a lot of Democrats that are very pro-Israel. That he's really out there spiking the football over it, just being adamantly pro. Yeah, it's very bizarre, very bizarre.
And he does not know what he's talking. It's so evident when he speaks that he doesn't know what he's talking about. In my video, and just to clarify, I did a video where I talked about him and Richie Torres, or focused on them, and he was talking to the Pod Save America guy, and he was trying to explain his stance, but was very incoherent, and he didn't even know how to pronounce Hamas. He said Hamas. And when I said, I made fun of that Hamas, people thought that I was making fun of his speech because he had a stroke. But I was pointing out the fact that he is so non-versed in this entire thing that he doesn't even know how to pronounce Hamas, which it maybe it is a speech thing, right? So maybe that's in bad taste, but even when you listen to him, it is evident he has no fucking clue. So why is he so frothing at the mouth, chomping at the bit to have the most extremist Zionist take? It's beyond comprehension. So I will do everything I can to defeat him in 2028. I don't have a lot of power, but whatever little platform I have, I will try to give that to his.
It's a ways away. I wouldn't focus on it yet.
Yeah, exactly. Don't want to get ahead of ourselves. Yeah. I think this one is for you.
Mr. Husteen with a $10 super chat. I'm seeing people readying to avoid voting for Biden, which is totally valid, but I'm nervous for trans and queer people in the event of a red win. Biden should feel the fallout, but I don't know what to do. You're a year away from it. Why are you even worried about what anyone's actually going to do? Right now is the time to use that threat of not voting for Biden to force the administration to be scared shitless into reconsidering their position, and then hopefully telling Israel to knock it off, change course, do something different. Because what's happening right now, the indiscriminate bombing, nearly 10,000 people dead, many of whom are children. You got a year to worry about the election. Now is the time to use that leverage.
Just 1 foot forward, one step at a time, right? Right now, the most immediate priority is stopping the carnage, stop the murdering. That's priority number one right now. Later on, we can reassess the situation and figure out what to do going forward. How do you convince people to still suck it up and vote for the lesser of two evils? But right now, I think that, that's just stopping the bombing, using anything, votes as leverage, whatever you can do. But yeah, I absolutely, I myself am nervous too. The idea of Trump winning with Project 2025, it is absolutely horrifying. But I'm gonna worry about that in like a couple of months from now. Right now, I'm trying to focus on like how I can have an impact, and that's trying to get members of Congress to call for a ceasefire, advocating for a ceasefire. But yeah, I think, and I'm not talking about you, Mr. Houston, but I got attacked when I put out my video last week about how Biden is losing support, and I didn't say don't vote for Biden. I said, listen, we have to understand the positions of people from the Arab community and how they feel betrayed. You might not agree with them saying we're not voting for Biden, but you should understand what they're saying and why they're saying it. And God, the messages I got, in particular from one person who said, "Oh, you're endorsing Nazi Trump, and you're supporting a group of people that would throw you off of buildings." It's like, bitch, they don't have any buildings. They're all blown up. What are you talking about? 50% of Gaza is children. Are you saying that I can't be gay and support the innocent children or innocent people? So people are desperate to also try to get people to stop criticizing Biden, but you have to be able to criticize the president. Like, there's no other way around it.
The idea there aren't any gay people in Gaza is ludicrous too. Like, it's give me a fucking break. Give me a break.
It's wild to me. Yeah. But yeah, I feel you, Mr. Houston. Just again, as Matt said, we've got a whole year, so I believe also
Zeitweiss with a €5.99 super chat. Ooh, euro. Or is that pounds? No, that's euro. Euros, I should say. Dear Media Detective Binder, could you maybe find the damn election special episode 0? I can't find it. And send the link to the XDM I sent a week ago. Oh, maybe I didn't see your DM. Oh, you want to watch the first episode of Leftist Mafia before we were officially Leftist Mafia? The one with Vosh.
Yeah. God, I think that was on, if you go to David Dole's channel and you search for the election stream.
I think I uploaded it to my channel too. You could just
did you?
Find it.
Okay.
You'll be able to find it. I'll look for it. Probably not tonight if you really want to watch it because I'm tired.
Yeah. I'm gonna chill after this.
Yeah, but if you can wait, I'll get it to you.
Another one for you.
Logan Hill with a $5 super chat for the Turkey Fund.
There you go.
No, I appreciate it because actually this week is gonna suck. Because I always try to make sure that I pretty much am on point where I do at least a show every week. I mean, up until a couple months ago, I was doing 2 shows every week, but I guess I got worn out. It wasn't purposeful that I stopped doing Scam Economy on the regular; it just sort of ended up that way. But it was the first of the month this week, and that's when Patreon charges people, and that's always when you inevitably lose patrons. I haven't even checked my Patreon yet. I'm scared to look, especially being that there wasn't an episode for me to, say, oh, we lost a few, join, and then inevitably it gets replenished for those people. So I'm afraid to look, but so I appreciate the $5 turkey for the Turkey Fund.
Dusty Partition with $5. Thank you, Dusty. Comedy as a capital P philosophy is laughing at absurdity, but also crying for the atrocities caused by it. Bassam Yousef is a great example. Absolutely co-sign that. Yeah, he is second to none. Like, I think he's a genius. He is. He's also like he's a heart surgeon turned comedian. And he is just a wealth of knowledge. He's much too humble to admit that he's like a genius, but he really I really think he's a genius.
He's the Ben Carson of the comedy world.
Ben Carson of the comedy world. This one is for you.
The critical plug. So X just got worse. They're advertising a PragerU movie on detransitioning. I haven't watched it, but I guarantee you it's going to be lies. Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, I saw that. I'm not even gonna. I mean, everyone saw it. I wasn't gonna give it any play today because of everything else that was going on. I was focused on. Any other day, obviously, I would have been all over that. I'm not ignoring it though. It'll be covered. I also think a lot of people are gonna just not pay attention to it either. Obviously, yeah.
It's propaganda bullshit, and I feel like people they're onto Elon Musk and the bullshit, so hopefully they just tune out because of the Elon Musk thing that he's pushing. Celeste 199, we miss Poopy Mike. Hope he's well. Poopy's doing really well. He was very naughty today, but otherwise he's doing very, very well. Yeah, I haven't done my Twitch streams, and my dog usually sleeps on the dog cam, and he's just there the whole time, snoring and chilling. He's a 10-year-old pug, but yeah, he's doing really good. He's a good boy, and he's aside from today, he ate his sister's food, and that's just, you know, we thought that he would never stoop to that level. He has his medical food, and then she has her food, and yeah. But aside from that, he's a very good boy, and he's doing great. Love y'all, Logic50 with $2. I appreciate that. You're so kind. Thank you. Thank you so much. T-King, $2. Hey, Mike, when do you do calls with subscribers? Tomorrow, actually, 4 p.m. PST, I'll send out the Zoom link on Patreon, on the YouTube community, also email it. And yeah, you could just join and jump on camera, and we chat for... Last time, we went long, like... Let me see. We started at 4 and we went to like over 9. So we were there for 5 hours. It was very long. So yeah, wow. Hopefully at some point you can jump on. We have a blast there. I'm assuming this is for you. I see wrestling.
There was another super chat before that, but it wasn't anything there. It was just the super chats. Let me shout them out.
Let me see.
It's me, Peachtree, with a super chat. Thank you so much.
Oh, was it? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I see.
Yeah.
I missed that. Okay.
That's all right. There was no message, so but I just want to still shout them out.
Yeah.
And now go back to Hansi with a super chat. Thank you, Hansi. Presidents are like pro wrestling. It doesn't matter who the world champ is when Vince McMahon is dictating storyline direction. In some ways, that's a good point.
Anything else, Matt?
No, that's it for that wrestling comment.
They invoked wrestling, and you're done. Like I feel.
I think the point was concise, and I'm exhausted. But if I had something to say, more to say, I would have went off.
For sure. Okay, this one is you.
Xander Cook with a super chat. If Leftist Mafia was a hardcore band, which instruments would you play? Bonus points if you name specific kinds of guitars and amps. I'm tired, man. I can't name specific guitars and amps. I can tell you I was a bass player in a punk band, in a hardcore punk band specifically, and did vocals. So that's obviously what I would do.
I really want to hear this. I think that'd be awesome.
I'm guessing Mike would be
drums.
Drums? You play drums?
I do not, but if I had to play an instrument, I would love to
play
drums.
Lance looks like he would be the drummer though.
That is true.
Because he's kind of tall and lanky, and that's usually the drummer.
Yeah.
David Dole would be the guitarist. He looks absolutely like a guitarist.
Yeah.
He looks like the type of guitarist who would absolutely fucking goo gaga over his own solos. Yeah, I guess you
would be a vocalist.
I can picture you doing vocals.
I feel like Rebecca and I we do the vocals. Yeah. I think this one is you as well.
Is that for me? Hold on, let me check. Oh yeah, A to the E with a $20 super chat. Thank you so much. I went to use the bathroom in my house the last night, and a cockroach slapped me and said, "Wait your turn." I don't get it.
I think that the point is it's so absurd because it made me laugh because it's just so ridiculous. I don't know.
All right.
I'm also tired and delirious.
Did you say to yourself, "Oh, nothing I can do about it. It's cockroach season."
This one is for you.
Oh, Donald James with a super chat. This is a great super chat.
My goodness.
Your guys' orgy would be hot because you're all 10s. Just watch out for Binder's and Mike's beards. Oh my God.
Pluvius, $5. Don't forget, Justin, if you do colonize his desk, you have to tell him you're settling it. Yeah. And if he tries to take his stuff, you hit him and you cry self-defense. No, don't actually hit anyone, but you get what I'm saying.
Keith S with a $20 super chat. Thank you so much. $20. Wow. Thank you to everyone's been everyone who's given anything, but it's thank you for sure to the people who've been given these obscenely large amounts. Thanks to the leftist mafia for showing how easy it is to call your congressperson and advocate for the change you want. Please, everyone, follow their examples, watch their examples, and do the same. Also, watch Left Past 10. What's Left Past 10?
I don't know. I'll Google it.
It's a show, it looks like.
Left Past 10. Okay. Oh, is that a letter hack? Oh, it's a letter hack one, isn't it?
I think I saw letter hack.
Yeah. Oh, okay. It's a letter hack show. Oh, okay. Yeah. I am subscribed to letter hack, but I did not see that in my subscription feed. But I will check that out. I love letter hack. Okay. David Mendoza with $20. Thank you so much. That's so kind of you. Man, we've been getting really big super chats. Thank you all. Marianne came off as really fake and gave a bunch of non-answers. It was pretty clear that she hadn't thought through her reparations policy, among other things. Not a good look, to say the least. P.S. Love you. Love you too. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm really excited to watch the Ole interview. All of like the longer videos I watch usually over the weekend, or if I'm at the gym. And I plan on watching Ole's interview for sure. Every Ole show is a no-miss show. So yeah, for sure. I'll check that out.
Yeah, I want to see her interview.
Same.
With, especially after I've heard so much about it.
Yeah, same. This one is for you.
Parker, random. Low-key season 2 episode 5 dropped and it's wild. I will not be watching it. I've not watched a single episode of any low-key season whatsoever. Not because I'm against it, but I just haven't had a chance. I haven't even seen. Geez, the last Marvel movie I've seen was the Avengers. Not the one that ended it either. The part 1.
Wow. Oh,
That's the last one I saw. It just a lot of things happened. My daughter was born when the other one came out. Was very busy. And I want to watch them in order, and I've not gotten a chance to, which means I miss everyone that comes out since.
It's a lot, right? Like, I mean, there's so many movies.
I've missed all the shows.
I've heard that the Loki show is really good. I've been watching Goosebumps. They have a new show on Disney Plus.
It's good?
It's entertaining. You know, it's weird. Like they take some of the books and then they kind of mash them all together. Not super close to the source material, but it's entertaining enough.
It's not based on the books. It's like original.
It is based on the books. Like each episode is based on a book. Like episode 2 is The Mask. Episode 3 is Cuckoo Clock of Doom. But it doesn't follow the books or the old show super closely. Like they kind of redo it. So if you really are a huge fan, that might bother you, but it's not bad. That's what I'll say. Like it's not a 10 out of 10 show. It's just something. And I thought it looked okay. So yeah, I'm watching it. And One Piece. I'm still watching One Piece. which I'll be watching it for like until the end of time because there's like a trillion episodes. Okay, this one is for you.
Is it? Daniel Castro with a super chat. We should always mock DeSantis, but Trump wears heels too. Does he?
Huh.
I wouldn't surprise me, but
yeah. You also have 2 in a row. So there's one with no message here. It might be a sticker, and then you have a message from the same person.
I don't see these. These are not from me.
No, this
No,
might
it must
be.
be
Oh, okay, it might be for David Dole. Well, we'll read them. Bubba Fett 199. Az
Hey,
Rubin.
should we read them?
Arizona's Ruben Gallego, who is, I guess, not primarying Kirsten Sinema anymore, but is running, sucks. His stance is bad on Nakba too. Honestly, yeah. At first, he seemed like he was promising. And when I say promising, like as promising as you can get for like a progressive Democrat. But the more that I hear from him, the more he seems kind of just like another Fetterman. So yeah, if there's a better progressive, I would support that. But if he wins over Sinema, hell yeah, that's still better. The Matt Mercy with $2 requesting everyone refer to X as shitter. I just call it Twitter because I'm not gonna like change it. I will continue to dead name Twitter forever because that's its name. It's very stupid for him to change the name. So yeah. Okay, I think this one is for you.
No, it's not.
Oh, this was for David Dole then. Okay. Beautiful girl, $9.99. Love the doggy and the little avatar. Is Israel to the U.S. what Trump is to Republicans? A monster they cannot control. Maybe we should all just stop paying taxes. I think that if you look back to Republican administrations, like George W. Bush, for example, like they did exert control, or at least like communicate to Israel that they're fucking up. Even Trump, during a press conference with Netanyahu, he said, maybe you should rein in the settlements, but we support Israel. Like, he actually said that. So the fact that Biden is completely kowtowing, that's a choice that he's making, right? Because you can... I get that he's probably worried that Republicans are going to say that he's, like, not super supportive of Israel, but they're calling him a communist. Who gives a shit what Republicans think? Like, he should just do what's right. And he's paying for it because he's not. So, yeah, it's hard to say. But, I mean, like, we're the United States of America, okay? If we wanted Israel to stop and we said they should stop, they would probably stop, right? And I'm oversimplifying it. There's more that goes into it, right? But understand that, like, they rely on our aid, our international support, our veto power at the UN, on the Security Council. We have so much influence, so much leverage, and we're not using it, right? So we can control Israel. It is a policy choice by corrupt politicians who are bought off by the Israel lobby who choose to be beholden to this foreign government. Okay. Last but not least, Kowalski 199. Thanks for all your Palestine coverage. It helps us. Thank you so much. That means a lot because it is, work hard on it. Today, man, I was so mad. I put up my video, or my video was scheduled to go up, and it was age restricted. And that means it's dead. Like, most of your subscribers aren't even going to see it. And I shared it on the community page, and they didn't even share that post. But thankfully, they reversed it. And then it, like, the views quadrupled in like an hour, like just showing you how bad it is when it's age restricted. So yeah, I worked all day on that. So I was devastated this morning. I was like, oh my God, like literally 11 plus hours, probably just all day prepping for this. So I'm very glad that people are enjoying the coverage. But guess what? We did it. That's it.
Oh wait, I got some over on Twitch really quick.
Oh yeah, I should pull up Twitch.
420 Vampire 69. What a username. 420 Vampire 69. Resubscribe for 1 month, a tier 1 subscriber for 23 months. Wow, thank you 420 Vampire 69. You're about to hit the 2-year mark. Incredible. Thank you so much.
Well, I already know who we're going to raid.
Caspa1103 resubscribe for 1 month with tier 1, subscriber for 3 months. Leftist Mafia rules, they say. Bo Fizzle cheered 100 bitch and Solomon succeeds. Resubscribe with Prime. Subscriber for 6 months. It's my 6-month Prime sub anniversary. Thank you so much, Solomon succeeds. And so who are we going to raid?
We're raiding Cosmopolitics. Christina.
Oh, she's on?
She's on, yeah. It's COSME Politics.
Why didn't it show up on my thing? That doesn't make any sense.
Sometimes it doesn't show up on mine too. Like you saw someone and I was following them, but it didn't show up.
Oh, she's talking with Dan from the internet. That's great.
Oh, that's perfect. Hell yeah.
Hold on, let me set it up here. You setting yours up?
I'm already ready, baby. Raid now.
You already ready, baby? Give me 1 second.
I'm not calling you baby. It's just exclamation baby. Sorry,
no,
didn't mean to be weird.
You're calling me baby. I'm
not calling you. God, this is what happens when I'm like tired and delirious.
All right, I'm gonna hit. Hold on. Where am I? I'm gonna hit start raid.
Okay.
That brings all the viewers into the raid. And now I'm gonna say peace to everybody. Goodbye, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. YouTube.com/MattBinder, Twitch.tv/MattBinder. If you're feeling like it, Patreon.com/MattBinder. Call your reps. Super easy. You saw us do it. Please do it. Please do it.
CeaseFireToday.com. All right, I got to hit raid because it's going to time out.
All right.
We'll see you all next week.